All right, all right, all right. You guys let me know if you can hear me. Testing, testing. Is this thing working? All right. Okay. Well, we're going to see. I don't even have a show for you guys. Just yo, Doughboy and MBW. You just said, hey, start the stream. We'll keep the party going. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna improvise the shit. Okay, this will be a great test stream just to see, if this thing works. So we're just going to make up what we can. I would love to have some of you come on and talk, but I don't even have anything set up. I don't even think I have a Discord, even though I think that by definition, by default, everybody that has a Discord username has a Discord server. So, if I were to try to do it, it would just be, kind of like on the go, as it were. We'll just build it together. We'll just build this thing together. So yeah, that would be interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Listen, a few ideas. So first of all, you could just look at my face and I could just make things up as I go. Second, I had this idea that I wanted to play Slay the Spire on stream. Oh, by the way, the stream quality is horrible. My goodness, I'm just watching the the replay. We'll fix that one later. We'll fix that one later. We'll just fix the quality of the camera there one day. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out all the settings so that this can be like a semi-decent show. But I think it's like streaming at what, 720p or something? The bitrate isn't particularly high, is it? Oh well. So yeah, so either we can just talk, we can talk about some of the latest news about PlayStation and all that, or we can, play a game together. I wanted to play Slay the Spire on stream. I had this idea that I will play Slay the Spire because I've really been loving Slay the Spire. It's been about 400 hours that I've played on it, which is a tremendous amount. And I wanted to bring it to people so that they could, maybe get into it and maybe we could have like a game streaming thing together. So y'all let me know what you want me to do. Would you like me to just sit here and talk to you? Would you like to play the game and talk about the game and talk about the PlayStation topics as well, if that is possible for me to juggle at the same time? What do you want to see? Okay, we're building this. We're building this just completely as we're flying in the air. Okay, so y'all just let me know what you're interested in, and then we'll do that. And if it works and if it is a good thing, maybe we'll do it again another time. So y'all let me know what you want, and then I will deliver on that as best as I can. We'll probably stay here for like an hour or so. So just so that we can. Yeah, I do have Discord. Um, I guess I could post a link in the chat for people. Maybe we can like talk. Let me see if I can create an invite or use a link to a friend. Copy. Okay. So I don't know if I'm gonna try putting the link in the chat. If people just want to come through the show and have a chat, we can definitely just talk it out. I don't know again if I even have that set up correctly. So we'll build it as we fly, guys. Okay. There we go. Already have someone in here. Okay. Testing, testing.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, can you
Oh,
hear
I
me?
can't hear you. Hold on. That's
Oh,
that's probably my fault. I
no,
don't
no,
know
no. I don't got
exactly
headphones,
what I
so if
should
it's some
do,
feedback, let me know.
whether I should stop one thing or another. Give me one sec. I will figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me
Testing,
go to.
testing.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm gonna go to the
Oh, I
stream.
can't hear you. Hold on. That's
See what's
probably
going
my
on. I was
fault.
trying to jump on 60 frames,
I
no
don't know
lag, but
exactly what
I
I
didn't
should
get the.
do,
I didn't see the
whether I should
invite
stop
section.
one thing or another. Give me one sec. I will figure it out.
But it's all good.
Okay.
Let me
Testing,
go.
testing.
There we go. Let me see. I'm gonna go to the
Oh, I
stream. Let
can't
me get
hear
a
you.
test to
The
see what it sounds
Doughboy,
like.
you came
See
through
what's
on the
going on. I was
Discord. I
trying to
just
jump
don't
on
know how
60
to
frames, no
hear you
lag.
at the same time do streaming. For some reason, I'm not being able
Oh,
to
I can.
do both of them at the same time. Like I can't hear my desktop audio.
I can hear myself on
Give
the
me one
stream.
sec.
That's crazy.
It's just probably something to do with
Oh,
my settings. Open volume mixer. Okay, that should be right. Let me change a few things. Oh no, now that's gone too far. Why would that be? Okay, say something again, though, boy.
oh, test, test, test.
Yo, finally, thank you. Sorry, man. I plugged in my DualSense controller because I said that I wanted to play games with you guys. Um, but the because it has a microphone on it and a speaker, it wanted to go through the speaker. Windows always changes settings. Okay, can I just El Apache? I will answer you. Can I just clarify that you can hear the boy? Everybody can hear everyone, so that, and I'm not coming through twice. I hope not. I hope that we are all good on that. So if you guys can just confirm that everything is coming through clearly, we'll get going. El Apache, I will answer
Okay.
you. Can I
Test,
just
test, test.
clarify
Can you hear
that
me,
you can
chat?
hear the boy?
Let me see if I can hear
Everybody can
myself.
hear everyone.
Let's see.
Can hear everyone. So that, and I'm not coming through twice. I'm getting feedback from you. So you're gonna have to wear
Okay.
headphones or something just to make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. I'm cutting it off now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Look at
I'm
that.
glad you.
Look, we did it.
I know it.
It works.
It all worked out.
Okay.
What should I grab?
Thank you for coming through. All right, Doughboy, thank you for, giving the suggestion. To be honest, I've been thinking about doing a stream. That's why I kind of had half of it set up. But there's always that inertia where you're like, no one's going to be interested. But you know what? When you say, you know what, Emmanuel, continue the stream, I say to myself, you know what, fuck it. All right. Everybody always looks for a sign. This is the sign. Just start the stream, get your first one out of the way, and then maybe it can turn into something enjoyable for everybody. So thank you for suggesting that. So that is what we're going to do now. How you doing?
Hey, no problem, man. I'm doing good. I was watching 60 frame no lag, and I wanted to jump on 60 frame no lag, but
Yeah,
I didn't see the invite section, so I was like, man, I'm gonna just chill and
yeah,
everything. Y'all was already having a good conversation, and I was already enjoying it, so I was like, I'm gonna just fall back. But then I was like, dang, it's ending real early because I'm on the East Coast
yeah,
of America. It was like 10:30. I'm like, damn, that's early. Like they don't usually stop 60 frames no lag until like 12 a.m. So I
yeah,
was like, yo, I wonder if N would jump on to do his own show. Well, I mean, like continue to stream. I'm
yeah.
like, yo, that make perfect sense. So,
Yo, listen, man.
I was like, yo, there's no way he gonna actually start a stream. And I seen you screaming. I was like, yo, he actually gonna do it.
Yo, listen, man. Listen, we are all a community. Sometimes you just gotta push each other on, and like I said, I've been thinking about doing it for a while. People have been asking for a while, but I was just like, oh, let's get the name right. Let's get the things right. Let's get the screens and the countdown timers and the music. But you know what? The first show doesn't have to be perfect, right? People will forgive. People are quite understandable. So there it is. Now, El Apache, did I have a problem with light issues in what is it, Clear Obscure Expedition 33? Yes, it is a fault with the gamma setting. So the default gamma
Yep.
setting is at 1.0. I suggest turning it down to 0.85. It is a much better balance. There is those technical issues in Clear Obscure, but yeah, the gamma setting is off by default by quite a large margin. You can't quite get it right because if you go to like 0.8 or 0.75, then it makes things a little bit too weird. But 0.85 or 0.9 would just make it so that it's not so overexposed all of the time, if that's the issue that you were talking about. So that is the best thing that I can do. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to try at the same time to sign into my PSN so that I can do some remote play and we can start just setting up a whole bunch of things so that we have some avenues to go. Because yeah, one of the cool things that we should be able to do one day is actually play games together. That would be, one of the things that I love to do. But I do not want to play on PC. Even though I'm on the PC right now, I would rather remote play into this shit than play on PC. That's how much I disdain PC. And also,
Well,
I've
it's
bought
funny
the
because
game. I've bought the game so many times. I've bought it on Android. I've bought it on what is it? I've bought it on PlayStation, obviously. So I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to pay for it again. I don't want to pay for it on Steam. So it is, but it'll probably be a lot easier if I just did it through Steam, wouldn't it? But you know what?
Yeah, it actually could be just because I got them all right. I got the PS5, I got the PC. I know we always have conversations about PC versus PlayStation and everything, and like
Yeah,
I kind of want to talk about that as well. I watched your video
yeah.
where I think this the same one that what's oh no, it's Alex responded to, and
Okay.
like I understand where y'all coming from, and I know P Rock said this before as well. He was like, what would be the point of buying a PlayStation if it's not going to be a curated experience,
Mm-hmm.
which makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you already going to be putting your time and energy into, because like when it comes like 'cause I have PC as well, so like even when it comes to PC, it's like the hardest part in my mind would be building the thing. Like it's that initial you know it-
Mm-hmm.
it's that initial drive, just get it put together and
Yeah,
whatnot, and after that, I mean, things kind of smooth out. They can, drivers and whatnot and stuff. But like the good thing about
yeah.
console is it's a specific thing. It's like kind of, it's just easy. It's just a lot easier. And when you got like stuff like the PS Pro, you get in almost like at least like 90% of the experience with paying less money. So it just make a lot of sense.
Absolutely, right? So the thing is about PC, first of all, I built my PC, right? I built PCs for the longest time. I love the technical aspect. So I went to school and I did engineering. I love technicality. I absolutely love the pleasure of putting together a PC. And as far as everything else that it enables to do, like this is really fucking cool. This doesn't happen so easily on a console, at least not that I know of, right? So I appreciate it for what it is, but playing on PC for me, like you said, like for me, playing is the moment where I don't want any like troubles. I don't want any obstacles. I just want things to be quick, easy, fast. All of the things that a console can do when it is working at its best. So that's what I want from it. And I think a lot of people they think that because you want these things, you are just not used to PC or you are just not good at PC. Like I've had so many PC players try to tell me about the advantages of PC, and I'm like, I get it. Like I know you don't have to tell me about it because I can already tell you what they are. I have one, and I know all these things. And I played on PC before. I spent I think 900 hours of my life playing RuneScape. I played Neopets. Back in the day. What else did I play? I played Steam, right? Like I have a Steam library with like I think at least 50 to 80 games. I haven't checked it in a while. So the point is, I've had that experience, and when it came to this generation, especially, I decided I'm gonna give myself the experience of gaming that I want to have, and the one that I want to have is on my TV, right? I invested a lot to make the experience on TV to be really, really good and to be something that I can really appreciate as a person. So when it came to just this idea that you can either go PC or you can stay on console, I'm sorry but my love is on console, and I want the console to be best represented by the company that made it. I want PlayStation to be able to say like, hey, you know what, oh man, there's so many games back in the day. If we were to sit here and talk about the very first game that I ever played, I think in my life was Prince of Persia. The one where you only had like an hour to save the princess. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I never saved her. By the way, she's still waiting for me. 30 years later, and I never got to her. But it's just so many great experiences. But when it was console, that's when it fired up, man. That's when my love for gaming fired up. But even Solitaire and Spider Solitaire, I hated that fucking thing because I never understood the rules. Minesweeper. I come from Africa, right? So it's like my particular situation, we didn't have a lot of money. So it was just the default games that kind of came with Windows that I played a lot of. But I played a lot of it because I just loved gaming that much. So yeah, I want PlayStation to be dedicated to the hardware that they put out. I want the companies to be dedicated to the hardware that they put out. And it's not about keeping games away from people. It's not about saying like, oh, you can't play this game because how it's mine. No, it's not about that. It's about ownership of it. It's about the sense of competition and the sense of choice. This generation would be
Yep.
better if Xbox had never put any of the games on PlayStation. It would be a more
Yep.
competitive generation, And this is the thing. It's like, yes, in the short term, it might help you to, save money or this or that, whatever it is, stay on your preferred platform. But in the long term, it removes user choice. I mean, think about it. When it comes to like credit cards, there are only two credit cards. It doesn't matter who you have. There's only MasterCard and Visa. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's like you can say, oh, this bank is better than that bank. It doesn't matter, because if they're all backed up by the same people, it's all the same system. And that's essentially what we have. There's no choice in that. There's no competition in that, because they can just decide to be like, hey, I will take all of these banks, you take all of those. And these are the terms we're going to set. And those banks can't go anywhere, because you're going to make sure that they can't work with you. So they have to stay with me. And then I will do the same for you. And that's it. Why fight over each other when we can just divide the world and both make trillions of dollars? That's what happens when we don't have competition. Like, what if
Yep.
it all ends up being PlayStation and Steam? And Steam is just like, hey, I will stay on my side of the fence. I will stay on PC and other PC-like devices. You stay on console and other console-like devices, and that's it. We will just make sure we never encroach on each other's space. We lose. Big L,
Yep.
And that's just my
Yep.
my my frustration with this situation.
And I mean, and also it makes a lot of sense to have your specific experience before your specific console. Even when it comes to games like I know Porter Rock don't play platformers, but I love Astrobot.
Yeah,
Astrobot was like my game of the year last year. I loved it. It's
absolutely.
amazing. Even when it comes to like the dual sense, and when you play the game, you actually get to see all the love and the technicality that they put into the actual controller, because you can actually feel what's going on in the game. Like, that's the type of stuff that you get with a dedicated experience. Like, you wouldn't get that on PC. Like, they don't care. They wouldn't do that. So it's like when you have these type of experiences, it makes the console seem worth more. Like, even though I know a lot of people feel like, well, I'd rather just play this game here, play this game there. It's not even about that. And like when it comes to the games, you want to have the best experience possible. It's a lot, and even when it comes to the developers, right? It's a lot easier for the developers to develop for one console. You have one GPU, one CPU, one all together thing that you can develop for. You don't got to worry about, oh, does this person have? I got to develop for a 2060, a weak GPU. I need to develop for a 5090, a powerful GPU. It's just a lot easier. You get dedicated experiences like a Death Stranding 2, where you play it. It's like, wow, you can really see the love and the time that was put into this. And like, I don't know. It's just a whole thing. I know a lot of people make talk about exclusives, but it's not like they only talk about this when it comes to like gaming and consoles. Like nobody says like I think it's like I should be able to get a Big Mac from Burger King. You know what I mean? I should be able to get a Whopper from McDonald's. I should be able to get, I don't know, like some KFC chicken from Popeyes. Like nobody does that because everything has its own curated experience. But when it comes to the consoles, they want to put everything everywhere. It just don't work like that. It just won't work.
No,
I
absolutely.
think it'll actually be bad. It would be bad overall. It probably be bad overall for the gaming in general. So it won't be better. People think it'll be better, but it won't.
That's exactly the thing. My entire frustration, like I said, has been, absolutely, we need to have that competition. We need to have these developers that are making the games specifically for the platforms that we buy. Even on PC, right? I wish Nvidia had studios of their own to push the hardware that they put out, right? I wish
Mhm.
that AMD had the same in order to actually show the performance of these cards. You look at the latest generation cards and you ask yourself, like, where is it? Where is this performance that we're supposed to get? In terms of like
Yes. Yes.
rasterization, they pretty much gave up. But even instead, in terms of what is it, ray tracing, which they're pushing really
Ray
hard
tracing,
for,
yeah.
they only have like what, Cyberpunk, that is really trying to like
Yep.
keep up with the performance and keep up with the technology that they're putting in. And then that's it. Like,
Yep.
you think about it, there's like thousands of PC games released every day, and only like maybe 10 or 20 of them are going to actually try to, use the technology fully. Not just how can I maximize my frame rate on a particular card, but no, which game actually uses this new path tracing technology that I asked for. which game actually uses this new ray tracing or DLSS 4.0, that I just paid for. Which games actually
Yep.
do these things so that I can actually see, like, okay, I can imagine where this thing is going to go further. I can imagine how this thing is going to, correlate to these other technologies and eventually deliver onto us a better product. But even with like other software, like for example, I use Adobe Suite, for my photography work and everything like that. And
Yes.
how many times, would I upgrade a performance, a component on my computer, and then I see dubious performance gains in my actual apps? Like at first you have the placebo effect. You're like, oh my god, I put 64 gigs of RAM. It's so much faster. It's this, is that, and then you go to use it, and it's like, oh, this one time is faster, the other time is slower than it was before, and then the other time is
Yep.
kind of like somewhere in the middle. So you're like, wait, did my investment in this PC platform actually deliver a better result to me, or is it just that I had a placebo and I wanted to see something, and so I thought that it was better, but in reality, it's about the same. And that's just something that a PC, because it's an open platform, of course, these companies aren't going to, drill down to my specific motherboard and my specific things and make sure that I really maximize the best out of that. But a console can do that. And for me, my frustration was, the video that I put out is I don't want the Series S. If I had wanted the Series S, I would have bought the Series
Would
S,
have bought a
right?
Series S, right?
Exactly. So it's like I don't want my PS5 to be a better version of a Series S. I want PS5 to be a PS5. I don't even want my PS5 to be a better version of the PS4. I want it to be its own thing so that the performance characteristics, they don't have to go all the way down, and that's something that people don't understand. They think that, oh, these games are all built on PC and it's all the same, and all you have to do is just scale up and down. It doesn't work. If it did work, then Xbox wouldn't be in the situation that they're in. You have to decide where your minimum is, and for me, Helldivers 2, the minimum is the Series S now. If they thought to themselves that, hey, we can have five ships in orbit, and then you think to yourself, that's going to be too much for the Series S. Now they have to go down to 3 or 2 or 1. So that eventually does affect the gameplay. And I'm sorry, I just don't like the idea that what I chose is being limited by somebody else that somebody else chose. It's like, okay, that's the choice they made, but that wasn't my choice. I don't want the
Okay.
next
Yeah.
intergalactic to be affected by this because suddenly we find ourselves in a situation where, again, you end up with a moment where intergalactic is not pushing the boundaries of what they could possibly do, because I thinking to themselves, well, in about 9 months we need to release this on PC, and on PC most of them don't have an SSD that is as fast as a PS5. So let's just slow
Right.
down this sequence
And the
overall
most
for
powerful
everybody.
GPU that they
Exactly.
use on PC mostly is a 3060. So how do you
Exactly.
develop for a 3060 with a game like that? Yeah, you're right.
you know and listen, another thing is that people are saying like, oh, is this going to affect the PlayStation 6? Absolutely not. It's not going to affect the PlayStation 6 at all. Even if a few of us decide not to get it, it will be such a tiny amount that they won't even notice it as a blip on the radar, because it takes time.
Yep.
For me, it's a PlayStation 7 that will be affected, because by the PlayStation
Right.
6 generation, as it goes on, people are like, wait a second, every time these games come out 6 9 months later, and then you guys are trying to sell me a PS5 and a PS5 Pro, then the PS6 and the PS6 Pro, then the PS7 again. Why would I keep just, kind of taking a ladder approach? And eventually, I'm at the price point of PC anyway, right? Like if you bought a PS5 and then a PS5 Pro, $1,200 gets you a decent entry level PC, and you can decide if you want to keep climbing the ladder and getting a better performance out of those parts.
Yep.
After that, it's up to you. So I don't think that PC is the be and end all. I don't think it's a particularly good platform. I don't particularly like Windows. But one of the points that I made last time was that if Steam created a real Steam machine, an actual console from them, not a partner thing that they tried to do before, and they bring the advantages of the Steam platform into the console format, I'm sorry, but as it stands right now, it's hard to imagine how that wouldn't be more appealing than the PlayStation. Because as it stands right now, they get PlayStation games anyway. right? They will
Right,
get
I
rid of
totally agree.
Windows. Yeah,
I remember. I think it was like last week. I know you
yeah,
and King Thrash kind of had a back and forth on that
yeah,
situation. I didn't know, and I was in the comments like, I agree with you. I
yeah.
feel like if they do come out with a Steam machine at this time, like, okay, if we talking about back in the day with like the first Steam machine. Okay, maybe it didn't sell well because you're talking about a different time. You're talking about a different customer base. You got customers now that's like used to like a Steam Deck, a Lenovo Legion Go, a MSI Cloud. Like they used to these different um I guess they used to these different ways of playing games. If they did come out with like a Steam machine, I agree with you. I think it would sell well. I mean, it probably wouldn't sell as good as a PlayStation 80 million consoles, but
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think like any any gaming device that you buy and not buy a PlayStation, like it's a sale away from a PlayStation. You know what I mean? PlayStation they want all the sales. So you know what I mean. If they do come out with that, they have their own interface. People love Steam. I mean, you can play a lot of the games. You gotta think like a lot of the games, the PlayStation exclusives, like a lot of them are already on PlayStation. I mean, already on PC. You know what I mean? So you having that, the games seem to be coming faster. I seen Spider-Man 2 came like what 12 months later. It was like real fast.
Spider-Man 2, I
I
think,
mean, it
was
came out the
18
next year.
months or
So
15 months. 15
yeah,
or 18.
yeah,
Yeah.
like 18 months. Like I think it was like it had to be like one of the
Yes,
fastest
it
ports
was one of
outside of
them. Yes,
like
absolutely.
Helldivers 2 or whatever. But I mean, yeah, like the game seemed to be coming faster to PC. So it's almost like I don't want to say the writing on the wall, but I mean, Sony needs PlayStation. Like a lot of people like to compare and contrast with the Xbox, but you got to think like Microsoft doesn't necessarily need Xbox. Like if
Mm-hmm.
Xbox died tomorrow, Microsoft would just be like, oh well, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just something. But like the PlayStation is like a big source of Sony income, so they actually need to make sure they on their P's and Q's with it. And you know, and thankfully it is selling well. You know, I got the PlayStation. I like the PlayStation. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I got PC. I like PC. It's all and they say it's all right playing where you want to play it, but I mean, it's all good. I like it. I mean, I like what's going on right now. I just hope that I don't want to see the exclusives go away because those are like some of my favorite games of all time. Like I love Ghost of Tsushima. I love Last of Us. I love Uncharted. Like those are the games I love. So I want them to continue making them. Even if they continue to do the live service strategy. I know P Rock hates the live service strategy, but I mean, I understand it because just like y'all was talking about on the show, like you got EA making money off skins. They make more money off skins than some of these games make off of sales in total. So it's like, come on. I mean, of course, Sony wants some of that money. Of
I mean,
course.
it's crazy with the skins thing because the truth is that I think that we gamers who talk about, these things, we're such a minority. It's actually discouraging. I think we're less than 2% of the market because, again, it's not even that like, for example, I listened a lot to, other podcasts, and then there are some guests on there that complain every single week about the price of a brand new game. $70 this, $70 that. And you know what? That's fair. Everybody has the right to their opinion, and nobody has to conform to anyone else's. But then these same people would then say that, oh, they spent like $400 on the microtransactions for whatever game, whether that's Valorant, Fortnite, VC bucks or FIFA bucks or whatever the device is. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but now I have an issue because now you're complaining about the price of a full price game and you have spent several hundred dollars more than that on microtransaction skins. And now I'm just like, wait, so what are we doing here when you like you take a look at again my favorite game of the generation, right? Clear Obscure Expedition 33, and you're
Mhm.
like, okay, that took like 4 years of work, that took like I don't know, like so many leaps in faith, right? Just to believe that, oh, if we start this thing, we can do something out of it and it can be something that people might actually relate to. And these people take this risk and they put their heart out there and their heart on the line and everything, it comes together and it creates something that honestly should not happen, right? A game of that quality from a studio that came out of nowhere, from people that were just kind of having hopes and dreams on their hearts. We don't usually get a success story like that. And when we do, gamers, to me, they scoff at it because they're like, no, I'm not going to pay for it. And this isn't even in Game Pass. And I'm just like, please, at least play it with Game Pass. At least give it a go. It's right there for you. You've already paid for the subscription. But they don't. And then they will complain about the price of all these new games. And then at the same time, they are the same people that will complain the most that we are not getting any new games, that we're not getting any new concepts, that the same things are just sequels and remasters and remakes, and we're just getting more and more of the same. And I'm like, wait, how can you be talking three ways? How can you be saying, on one hand, the games are too expensive? On the other hand, we're getting nothing new. And then on the third hand, oh, I'm spending all my money on microtransactions and skins and season passes and everything like that. So it's like, how do we want this industry to survive? Like literally, how do we want it? I don't
Yep.
know.
I mean, no, it was very true. I mean, they're making more money on skins and microtransactions than they are for selling the whole game. It's like, what do you expect them to do? I mean, they're gonna keep on fishing, and that's why Sony keep fishing for this live service strategy.
That's
I mean, even
exactly why. Yeah,
like Porter Rock make a video every week about how the strategy is not working. It's not working. But I mean, you got to think, if they hit just one, if they can get just one, they could probably make more money on that game than like five of their single player games, which is unfortunate. I hate it because I mean, I don't play those games. Like, I used to be a big, I mean, like a lot of people, I think a lot of people, like, when you first start playing consoles, especially coming up, I was a big sports game. Like, from like 2016 on back, like I loved 2K. I used to play 2K every year. But like, when I start seeing these microtransactions and you gotta pay, you gotta pay for the skill points, you gotta pay for the clothes, you gotta, like, hold on, man, y'all siphoning too much money out of my pocket. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking where the game, and then the gameplay get worse as they as they sell more microtransactions. The games get worse.
yeah.
So it's like, what's going on here?
And listen,
It's just,
we're definitely shooting ourselves in the foot, and I think of it, I think it's a lot like the film industry. I think the film industry also
yep.
has this problem, where they complain all the time that, hey, we're just getting more Marvel sequels. We had the young adult trend, we had Divergent, we had the Hunger Games, we had
Hmm.
is it like Percy's, something like that? Like we had a whole we had what's the other thing, Twilight. In the
Yeah,
2010s,
Twilight,
2010s, we had all of
Harry
these young
Potter.
adult
Yep.
novels and everything like that, and
Hmm.
that was kind of the trend. Then obviously Marvel came out, and it was a superhero trend, and that's still kind of where we are, even though it's stalling out now. And I think Hollywood is looking for the next big thing, like the next big push. And part of it is animation. We're seeing more animation from different studios, not just from the Japanese ones. For example, if you guys haven't watched K-pop, Demon Slayers in or Demon Hunters, something like that. It's on Netflix. It's a Sony Pictures animation film.
Hmm.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely great. Like, you wouldn't think it's good. The concept of it sounds so stupid. But it is an amazing animation film. It's so great. And I think with the Spider-Man verse, the Spider-Verse, sorry, has also been really great for animation. We've had, Blue Eye Samurai, Netflix animation, or Netflix partner studios that they have, worked with to bring animation, has also started a big push into the animation genre. Pixar is no longer kind of the king of the hill there. But I think that's the
Yep.
thing. Both the film industry and the game industry get stuck in these ruts where they just they just find the it's like they're walking quicksand. They're finding this really challenging to move people to the next one. But the good thing about the film industry is that at the very least they haven't figured out how to do subscription services per movie yet. Like, no one has sold
Yep.
you extra scenes for each particular movie that you watch. But we figured that out in games. Like Call of Duty is an entire empire of subscription all on its own. But between
Yep.
Warzone and the Call of Duty multiplayer, you can just stay in the Call of Duty pipeline and you can spend thousands of dollars. They haven't quite figured it out with films how to do that yet. Like, you watch James Bond, whether you watch it on subscription through your own personal systems, or you have a subscription to the cinema, what have you. The point is, when a film is done, it's done. They haven't found a way to upsell you so that you spend, I don't know, $500 watching No Time to Die for a particular film. And this is
Yep.
why I care so much about the community reaction, because I think the community is the more important piece. At the end of the day, who pays for microtransactions? We do. Who sends the signal that we want more skins over more games? We do. Who
Hmm.
gets all of these even if you don't like remasters and remakes, which I like, but whatever. If people keep creating remasters and remakes, that's because of us. If EA decides to stop creating remasters and remakes, that's also because of us, because we communicate with our wallet. So that's why I was saying that the PlayStation 5 will be my last PlayStation, because I don't like this direction of PlayStation. I don't support a
Yep.
multi-platform strategy. It's the only thing I can do. It's literally all I, what am I gonna do? Send a letter, a handwritten letter to Chitoki and be like, hey, you're fucking this up? Like, no, it's not going to work. So the only thing I can do is withdraw my financial support and be like, I will not support your platform going forward because I don't like that direction. And I think that
Yep.
eventually it will work, but by then the damage can be done. Think about it. It only takes one person to ruin an entire brand, because people act as if these brands are like immutable, but they're all led by people, and a person can make a wrong decision. I would argue that Phil Spencer has been fucking up the Xbox ever since he got in charge of it. I think if they had gotten rid
Absolutely.
of him from the beginning, it would have been a lot better. They would be in a better place today, and they wouldn't be putting, PlayStation exclusive games, sorry, PlayStation, they wouldn't putting their exclusives on PlayStation if they had gotten someone better at their job than Phil Spencer. And that's when I saw, the moment I saw Totoki, I was like, you're looking kind of sus. And the moment he did this, I'm like, yep, that's it. You gotta go now. Because if I can get rid of you in the next 2 years, I can preserve the thing, that I like about the brand. It can stay intact. But if we keep you
Yep.
around, you're gonna fuck this up just like Phil Spencer. You're going to,
Yep.
and the worst part is that I know that the momentum PlayStation has is going to make the numbers look better and better and better for a long time. The PlayStation
Yep.
5 isn't going to slow down because of this. It's going to keep selling and everything like that. So for a long time, it's like you have this cancerous thing growing inside the brand. And it's only when it starts, to metastasize at a huge level that people will be like, oh shit, we fucked up. And then I'll be there going
Right.
like, I told you so. Like, of course you did. You know? It is what it is.
Oh no, and it seems like it's a lot of well, what's the word I want to use? It's a lot of like two faced. Like I don't like double standards. I hate double standards. It's like, yeah, I remember you was talking about on Steam, right? You remember when uh on Steam PlayStation wanted the players to make accounts, right? Make
Yeah,
PlayStation accounts, and like the Steam community banded together and said, "No, fuck you, PlayStation. We not doing it." And they bullied PlayStation so much to the point where they said, "Nah, we just gonna take it out. You don't got to worry about it no more."
absolutely.
And it's funny. And it's funny how on the other end, like when it comes to exclusives, it's like we telling PlayStation, like, look, no, we want to keep everything exclusive. We want to keep everything on the console. But like when it comes to us, they talk about us. Oh, you just want to gatekeep games. Why
Yeah,
don't you want games everywhere? So it's good. I mean, so it's fine for one person. I mean, for one place to say what they do and what they don't want on their preferred platform, but we can't do the same on our end. I mean,
absolutely.
it's like a double standard. It's messed up.
Absolutely. And they call you a fanboy if you say things like that. And you're like, wait, why?
Right.
Why? Like, what on earth does this have to do with being a fanboy? It has nothing to do with being a fanboy. Listen, there's plenty of people, like for example, even Porsche. Porsche fans were like, we don't want the name Turbo on electric cars because it has legacy and because it means something. Now, they didn't win
Yep.
that fight, but they were able to be like, hey, that we don't like this. And I think that when you are a part of a fandom, you have the right to be like, no, I have ownership of, I have some ownership of what it means to be a part of the brand. I have some ownership of that. For example, it doesn't matter what it is that you do. There's signature things that a brand does if it has any semblance of, a legacy, or a legendary
Yep. I
status,
mean,
especially.
perfect. Perfect example is Dodge with the V8s. Like
Yeah,
whenever Dodge came out with that electric Charger, oh my
yeah,
god, the backlash it got from it. Every Dodge person was like, "No, fuck this. We don't want this. Get out of here. Fire the CEO.
yeah,
We don't want this here. We want big, brawling American V8s. That's what
yeah,
Americans like. We like gas guzzlers. That's what we want."
yeah,
And the pushback from it, the CEO got up out of there, and now they're trying to bring them back. See, that's what leverage does. And it's all about using your leverage for what you want. We as the PlayStation community, we can use our leverage. Like, yo, if you want us to buy your consoles, you know what we like. We like third person, over the shoulder, action adventure. We want more Spider-Man. We want more Uncharted. We want more Last of Us. What other studios doing? This is what we want. We use our leverage to get what we want from this. It's not the Xbox community just let that go. They just let Phil come in and do whatever he want to. Because it's funny how if you go back to 2020 and you listen to what they were saying, oh, we got the power. Oh, ABK. Oh, baby, we got the games. Everything's gonna be exclusive. And then then it comes to okay, so 4 games coming to PlayStation. No, all the games are coming to PlayStation, and now they all just taking it.
You
That's the
know,
funny part. They all just taking it.
and that's the thing. They've received a lot of
Just following the company line.
this has been a salve for their wounds, the fact that PlayStation is putting their games on Xbox too, because now they want to be like, see, we told you like 7 years ago that this was the way to go. Of course, they didn't tell 7 years ago because the strategy wasn't that 7 years ago. Like you said, 7 years ago, they wanted exclusive. 7 years ago, they were on the Xbox One X and they were like, no, we've got the most powerful console now. So, yeah, they've always wanted to fight, kind of like in the ring, glove to glove. They've always wanted to brawl. But now they are just lying down and being like, "Yep, you're going to join us," where we are too, and that's a horrible place to be. Like again, I think that this generation could have been the recovery generation for Xbox. I think that they
Right.
could have, put out games. For example, I mentioned that before the game came out. Anyway, South of Midnight was looking so good to me. I was like, if this was exclusive, if I knew it was going to stay on Xbox, I would have bought the Series X for it, right? Now, I would have been ultimately disappointed because from everything that I've seen, it doesn't look like it was a game worth buying a console for. But that's regardless, it doesn't
I,
matter. The point
I
is, I
played it
would
and
have
beat
bought.
it. It wasn't. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
exactly. But the point is, it looked to me the marketing material like it was. So I would have made the purchase. I would have gone for it. I would have been like,
Right.
yeah, I can find the Series X, at a reasonable price on Facebook Marketplace. $300 Australian, that's like $200 US. I can get a console
Okay.
for that. At that price tag, it doesn't kill me, and I would have done it, but they don't have that. So what I'm just trying to say is that had they gotten those kind of games in, the Fables, Perfect Dark is gone now, but at the time, um, what is it? The South of Midnight, even Disavowed, which I think is just a garbage product from the beginning. It doesn't matter.
Oh
But
my
if they had,
god.
if they had kind of collected themselves and be like, listen, in general, we will give you a 6 to 7 out of 10 experience. By the time they get to the next generation, they could have started to fire up where they are starting to give you eights. Like for example, Doom, The Dark Ages, a lot of people put that as an 8 out of 10. Okay, let's get a few eights under our belts. And then maybe let's get one nine, or maybe just two. Like think about it, the PS3 was saved really by The Last of Us and Uncharted 2. Like there's many other
Yes.
great games besides it, but those two really kind of spearheaded the effort where people were like, oh shit, I've got to pay attention to this particular brand. So you don't need 17 10 out of 10s. Like imagine if they were still doing the exclusive thing, yeah? And they have partnered with Clear Obscure like they did for Game Pass, but this time they made it exclusive. I'm sorry, but that would be a 10 out of 10. It wouldn't be like setting the world on fire, but it would be one game where they can be like, this is a 10 out of 10, and you can only get this on Xbox as far as the console is concerned, you know? And even if it was just a timed exclusive, that would have brought some prestige to the brand, and then eventually they can walk into the next generation with some cachet, and then they can be like, oh, look at the games that we've been able to deliver onto you. We will do even better this time around. And that's the promise that the PS4 was making. The PS4 was making the promise of, hey, look, we had some troubles in the PS3 generation, but we had two, three, or four 10 out of 10 experiences, like the Metal Gear Solid, Uncharted 2, The Last of Us, and everything like that. And now they're
Hmm.
like, oh, we also gave you some 8 out of 10s. We gave you the Infamous, we gave you the Ratchet and Clanks, so on and so forth. We gave you the Little Big Planet. I think Little Big Planet was PS3, right? Like that was the moment when Little Big Planet was actually,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
popping.
PS3. Yeah.
So yeah. And it was like, oh, we delivered you onto that. Now the PS4, we promised to do even better, and which they delivered on. So for me, I was like, you know what? Xbox, it's okay. You had your PS3 generation. The Xbox One was your low point. But go ahead, don't try to shoot past kind of like the recovery generation. It's like you are an athlete. You've been injured. You do need the recovery time. Take your time to
Yes.
recover, and then come back again, and you can go hard. But they try to buy the way out of the recovery, only to realize that, like any athlete, if you push yourself when you're injured, you do permanent damage. And that's exactly why they're crippled right now. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and once you lose them, it's hard to get it back. I don't know, well, with the Xbox fanboys, I mean, it seems like they'll go with anything. They'll go with anything Xbox says. At least PlayStation do got a PlayStation. The fans really do got a little bit of pushback. We will tell them, okay, well, we don't like Concord, get it out of here, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't really have a problem with Concord. I didn't play it, but I know Xbox said he played it and he enjoyed it, but it was just like a lot of issues with the character design and whatnot.
Oh, the
So
character design
I
was
don't know.
horrible. Oh, it's horrible
Yeah,
character design. And you should have seen the skins. Like the default character design was fine. I guess it was passable. But I'm like, okay, make the unlocks. Like I even took some screenshots of it. Let me see if I can find it. But it was because I played the game, and it was disgusting. I'm looking at things and I'm like, why the fuck would I want to wear that? Like you take a character that's already not that attractive, and you put like there was one that literally looked like an intestine, like intestines. Like I'm not even joking. If I can find the photo, I'll show you. But it just like it was garbage, and I was like, "Yo, what is going on? How is this the thing that you came to market with? Oh my god, I can't even Yeah, I thought I had this the thing here, but unfortunately I do not have. I think I deleted that particular folder because it was just so shit. Um,
yeah, yeah.
but
I mean,
nah.
maybe wanted to get to the live service so fast that they just like put the cart before the horse.
Yeah, but the thing with Concord is, listen, the art design was just wrong. They just chose the wrong direction. I didn't mind the world, like the kind of like retro futuristic art style, but you still have to make
Hmm.
appealing characters. And I'm not one of these degenerates that requires, every curve to be showing on the female. You take a look at
Yeah. Oh
Claire.
my god, I hate that so
I
much.
hate that too because I'm just like, boy, if you want to watch pornography, go do you, but we don't need it in every single media. But you take a
Right. I
look
mean,
at Clear Obscure, you do not have like skin showing necessarily, but the default design
no.
is epic. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
So that's what I
Yeah.
mean by they didn't have to necessarily just appease those weed people, but you just had to come up with something that looked good, and they didn't, and they doubled down on it, and it was just looking really really bad.
Yeah.
Let me see.
For sure.
Concord character skins. Like I've got to show you this one. It was so horrible. I was like, yo, what the hell is this? Okay, it was definitely this character, except she has an even worse skin. Oh my god. Let me see. Can I quickly what was her name? Emery. This one. Yo. Hold on. I'll put this on stream. People,
Okay.
y'all
Let me
y'all
look.
have y'all have to tell me what on earth we were thinking here. Okay. I'm just gonna wait for the stream to catch up. Y'all let me know when you can see
Okay.
this.
Sure.
Y'all tell me, what on earth was this, bro? what, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Yo, no, yeah. What is that? What is that supposed to be?
It looks like intestines to me. I'm like, why? Look how ugly that is.
Yeah.
Why would I want to run around as this?
Let me blow it up. Let me see. Yeah. What is it? She got a beekeeper hat on. What is that?
Dude,
Yeah. That's
what are we talking
what.
about? What is that? With this, and it looks organic in a very disgusting. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Scorn. I'm like, why is Scorn character design doing in here? Why would you want to run around looking like this? I'm just
No.
like, yo, what is going on? And this was like the ultimate skin, by the way. This is like when you maximize her like character pass or battle pass or whatever. This is what you got,
Oh,
you know?
yeah, that
And
yeah,
this
that
was
looks
the her default
absolutely
skin.
grotesque.
This was already bad. This is already horrible, you know? But
Yeah,
that's the
like
default. Like, I don't want to run around looking like this. This looks awful.
no. And then they releasing the game at the same time. You got an amazing game like Marvel Rivals coming out. So it's like, yo, you can't compete. You can't
E-
compete at all. Like,
Even this one
there's
over
no
here,
comparison.
I'm like, this entire art style, is it distinctive? Sure. But it's ugly. It's ugly. Like, I'm just like, yo, this
Mm,
is just, it's just too, like, again, this one over here, who did the new design, this one here is better because at least it leans into the alien thing. But nah,
yep.
I just like, it's just a human with green
I like
skin.
the I like the drawing. I like the drawing more than I like the actual character
There
though.
you go.
Like, yeah,
There you go. And it's like, again, the principal character designer or the design artist, he messed up. And honestly, I think that the characters themselves were a big part. Even this alien over here, these guys don't look like people you want to play as, you know?
no,
So when I was thinking about the game, like this one, she's one of the only ones that looks good. But again, I'm just like, yo, give it more style, give it something more, like she's just I, you just you're like, okay, it's like a 3 out of 10. Like,
right.
you know
It's a big blue dude with a red head. Like, I mean, yes, some of these designs just look weird. And then you got, like you say, you got really good looking designs, like on Claire Obscure.
yeah,
You got like I like I like Mael. I like
yeah,
Mael
Clay
look
Mayan
real
is
good.
great, yeah,
Lele look real good. I, I don't know. I like Verso. Verso might be my favorite
yeah,
character. I mean, he looked real good.
yes,
Look real
absolutely.
good.
Like, just for me, when I saw the outfits of the expeditioners themselves, I was like,
Hmm.
yo, I want to play this game. When I looked at the design of the outfits, I was like, I'm sold, and each of them, the outfit is different to kind of reflect their personality, you know
Yep.
like, for example, Gustav, they give you a line in the beginning saying that they trimmed down his left sleeve because he has an artificial arm, so
Hmm.
he didn't need it there, so they trimmed it down, so his outfit reflects his particular thing, and every other character just looks fantastic. And I'm sorry, but it's like you have to get that right. It's like when people say that the you know the graphics matter. Graphics matter, they do, but it's not just how sharp is it, it's what is on screen. Does it look
Right.
good? Do I want to play that? But
Yep.
when I look at the default characters, yeah, I'm just like, yo. And then every single skin that you can get in the game, it gives an element of style or personality. Like, for me, there were certain skins I didn't put on certain characters in Clear Obscure because I'm like, you wouldn't wear that. You're not the type to wear this particular, beach outfit or whatever. Let me put you in something a little bit more formal, a little bit more dressed up, because that's more your thing. But there were choices there that were attractive for each character. So I just think that PlayStation completely messed up when it came to their particular designs for Concord, and I think that in general, PlayStation does not understand what it takes to have um, a great multiplayer game in terms of especially live service. I don't think that they understand what it takes to
Yep.
do that. I think that they have built a lot of muscle, a lot of recognition, a lot of sort of internal understanding about how to create a great single player experience and how to recognize it in other people's games. But it's a bit like, do you remember
Mhm.
the episode where Homer Simpson like exercised only one hand? you know, what was it, Homer or
Yeah.
was it Family Guy? Who did it? I
No,
think
I think it was
you
Family Guy. I think it was
you
Family
think it
Guy.
was
I
Peter?
remember that.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, it
one
was
of
Peter.
them
Yeah.
where they exercise only one muscle and then they just get like
Yep.
this massive arm, and then on the other side, this tiny little thing. I feel like that has been PlayStation with single player. They will just go into the gym, sleeping, still doing the weights, eating, doing the weights, on the toilets, doing the weight, but only on one arm, you know? And
Yep.
so that thing got massive, right? And then they set bench pressing records. They were like, yeah, 500 kilograms, one arm. And then they tried to do it
Mhm.
with the other arm. And they set the same weight as they did for their good arm. And then it just came crashing down. And that was Concord to me. You know what I mean? They were
Yeah,
like, yeah, 500
that is a perfect
kilograms.
analogy, actually.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah,
just
that is
like it
perfect.
just came crashing down and it just beat them in the neck. And now they're just like struggling, like, hey, please lift this thing off of me. But that's exactly what happened to the PlayStation thing. They should have walked slowly. Just like Microsoft tried to buy the way out of the recovery, PlayStation tried to
Mhm.
buy the way out of the learning phase. They thought to themselves, let's just buy Bungie and Bungie is going to come and solve everything. And listen, to me, Bungie saved Naughty Dog from their own folly, and for that, worth every penny. But but it wasn't a good purchase. You could have just hired them as consultants. You could have just been like, hey,
Right.
Bungie, just come here, $300,000. Take a look at this shit. Tell me what you think. They would have been like, no, son, get this shit down, shut it
Yep.
down, and you could have gotten the same result for far less money, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, I think they try to buy the way out of the learning process, and that's a mistake. And again, these executives are not salient, man. They are not omnipotent. A lot of times we give opinions, and then people are like, "Oh well, you're not in that position," and it's like, yeah, but I don't have to be. Just like I don't need to be a chef to tell you when a particular cook hasn't, like cooked my eggs properly. Like I don't need to
Right.
know. Just like sometimes you can just tell from the outside in. You don't need to always be a man on the inside to tell you. Just like if I leave my mechanic's place and the engine is still rattling, I'm sorry, I don't need to know what a gear socket is in order to tell you didn't do your job properly. You know? So
Right.
PlayStation has been chasing this live service thing, which we understand, but at the same time, they've been messing it up because, quite frankly, they haven't gone through the process of learning. And now with Totoki in charge, the guy just wants to maximize profits. He's not here for the learning phase. He's here for the squeeze every single drop out of this lemon.
Yep.
Just
Because
dry
a
it
lot of
up.
these guys, I mean, they're not gamers. They don't really care what gamers care about. Like all
And
they care about is okay,
and he's
the
not even an
X's and
artist.
O's.
I bet you Totoki doesn't
Mhm.
read. I bet you he doesn't like art in general. He doesn't respect it.
Mhm.
He comes from a business school, and in the business schools they teach you efficiency with business. And he's just like, "Yep, I can fire people. I can reduce losses that way. I can shut down studios, and I can take the few
Yep.
studios that are selling, and I can put their games on as many platforms and as many places as possible. I can market them for $1, and I can get some return on investment." And when you say, "Hey, Totoki, what about in 10 years when you're going to see that that strategy was actually bleeding you out?" And he's going to be like, "Listen, in 10 years, I'll have retired. I'll go out with a
So
golden
yep,
parachute.
it won't be my problem anymore.
Exactly. Won't be my problem
Yep.
anymore. I got with a golden parachute and that's it. It's someone else's problem. They can figure it out. But in the
Yep.
meantime, we are over here as the fans of the gaming ecosystem and we're getting less and less and less out of it. So that's unfortunate, man. That really, really is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
What
mean,
other
it's
topic?
looking like.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, 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 no. I mean, it's looking like that's the way that it's probably gonna go. They're gonna continue going down this road. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with Marathon. Like I'm hearing that they either gonna scrap it or they're gonna bring it back to the drawing board and like see what's going on because the reception was so bad. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't.
Yo, your marathon, that was one thing that I remember I did an analysis of the art style and I was like, this is the most inconsistent thing I've ever seen. And then it came out later and they were like, oh, it was pretty much, wholesale stolen from some other artists. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Like I didn't claim
Yep.
in my video that it was stolen from someone else, but I was at a point where I'm like, yo, I could have claimed that because it just didn't make any sense. And the thing about Marathon is that it's sci-fi. Sci-fi is meant to have some logic. It's meant to have some basics in our grounded reality, just kind of pushed to an extreme, right? So I was like, nope, didn't work. And when they said that, hey, you know what? I'm going to the. But one thing I want to put on screen, I wanted to actually make a video about this. But hey, since we're here, we get to do it live, right? Let's go ahead and just share this right here. right now, I think I need to be in the center for this thing. I want you to talk about this thing, and I know that for people on mobile phones, you guys are going to really struggle. So let me just kind of zoom it in. This is a tweet by Robert Morrison. Okay, he's a ex PlayStation developer. I mean, he's a ex many things developer. But he's been on pretty much. He's worked for Naughty Dog. He's worked for God of War, the Santa Monica studio. He's worked for what else? What simulation has he worked for? Oh, he was just at who's the ones that made Days Gone? Bend Studio. He was just at
Uh,
Bend. Yeah, so he just
yeah,
recently
Tony
got
Bennett.
let go
Yeah.
from Bend. But so he is the person who is like he has a deep history with PlayStation. And here was his tweet. He says PlayStation needs to first item keep PlayStation games on PlayStation. Do we see what we're talking about? Very first thing he said. This isn't just a fanboy thing. This is a person who has been, he has a, like, he's brought us more games, from his hands alone, more artwork from his hands alone than any of us are ever going to do for the brand, most likely. So if we think we have PlayStation in our DNA, this guy created that DNA. Like he was part of it. He did the animation on God of War 2018 and I think Ragnarok as well. He did the animation on The Last of Us Part 1 remake. He did so many things for us PlayStation gamers. And the very first thing he says is keep this shit where I created it, where I intended it to go. Keep this shit on PlayStation. Because I'm telling you that even developers themselves cannot like this direction. But hey, Then he says focus 90% on single player games. Do you see this guy? He knows it. He says 4-year development cycles. Right there, right? No more 5, 6, 7 years. It says shorten the scope of major titles. This is something that I've also said before. Horizon Forbidden West is an amazing game. I love Horizon. I love the Horizon series. And I've said it didn't need to be as big. It didn't need to be as big. 30% of that map should have been gone, should have been deleted, or should have been shrunk down. Most people, I've explored almost every inch of that map, but even now, after like nearly 200 hours in Horizon, I think I've gone over 300 hours. I have to check. After all that time, there are still places I haven't discovered yet. Can you believe it? You know? And I try to worm everything. I try to do every single quest in the game and everything like that. One day I'm flying and I'm like, what's the island? I'm like, holy shit, there's another thing over here. Why is it there? That was time and development. I think that open world games have gone too big. That's my personal hot take. I think that Assassin's Creed definitely pushed us into the Ubisoft era, pushed us to this idea that more was more, and I think it's just gone way too far with the games. Number 5, I think he says fund indie games with proven prototypes. Definitely less contractors and more staff positions. We definitely need this, man. We have to retain the talent. The talent. Like this guy doesn't work up for a PlayStation studio anymore. Why? Why was he let go? When he brings legendary IPs to life, why would you let him go? Even if you don't have the place for him, like keep him around. Just put him, I don't know, give him like a corner office and tell him to look out the window for a while we find him a project. But keep him inside the building, you know? He says increase cross sharing of proprietary systems, pipelines, and processes. This is something that a lot of people have suggested, especially like the Decima engine, that they should, kind of keep Decima around and make sure that every PlayStation studio has access to Decima. So that's something that people have suggested for a long time. Form 30 special teams at each first party studios working on original unique prototypes. Again, fantastic idea. Build stronger culture of listening to each member of the team over focus groups, and then encourage, reward, and promote the outspoken team members more, not the yes men. So I wholeheartedly agree with every single point on this tweet. And I just thought it was so validating for me personally to see that the very first item was, hey, keep this shit exclusive because it's so important, you know. But everybody in the chat, how is it going? I feel like you guys have been having a completely separate conversation, in the chat over there. There is a delay, and I'm not sure how big the delay is on this stream. I think there's a way to make it so that it's only like 1 or 2 seconds. It almost seems to me that the delay for the stream is at 30 seconds. So I kind of have to give you guys time to catch up, you know. But yeah, man, what do you think of that tweet?
No, I mean, I agree 1000%. I mean, everything that he said was spot on. Definitely keep the games on PlayStation because yeah, that's your identity. Like when you think about PlayStation, what do you think about? You think about the Uncharted. You think about The Last of Us. You think about God of War. I mean that's what we know the console for, and that should be the important thing. I mean, I I agree with the single player games. I mean, I don't play multiplayer games like that. So I mean, the more focus on single player games is perfect for me. The 4 year development cycles, I agree. I mean, with these consoles taking longer to come out and the games taking longer to develop, we're gonna be getting less and less exclusives. I mean, I've heard other things like maybe they should invest more in like AA games, not necessarily the big over budget AAA games, which I mean we
Yeah,
all love. I love them, you love them, we all love them. But
yeah,
I mean, it would be good to have like a more flow of content, even if it's like I would say I don't want to say like degraded or anything, but like just like less focus on the big stuff, and like more focus on the little stuff for sure. I mean, everything he said was spot on, 1000%. And a lot of people want to say fanboy this, fanboy that. I mean, when you got one of the main developers on some of the games that we love saying the first thing on the list is keep the games where they're supposed to be at. I mean, he right, and we
yeah.
right,
And that's the thing. The
one
thing is,
thousand
he
percent.
understands it from a different perspective because he knows what it's like on the inside. He knows what it's like when the game has to be shipped to other platforms. So that shit that we say that, hey, when you ship on another platform, you have to start thinking differently. Yeah, he knows what that's like. He knows, and he's worked at more than just PlayStation Studios, by the way. So he's worked at third-party studios as well. So he knows what it's like
Yep.
to, when it's a multi-console ship or like a multi-platform ship versus a single platform ship. So again, he knows it from the inside and out. So we are speaking from the outside in, and we are like, yeah, shit, this is the dumb thing to do. And he's like from the inside out, like, yeah, shit, this is a dumb thing to do. We don't, like, so that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people they try to discredit these opinions because it's fanboy talk, is this, is that, and I'm like, no, it's not. We were talking about Game Pass being a huge failure for Xbox. Pretty much the moment it came out, we were like, what? That's dumb. That's fucking dumb. You're gonna train people not to buy games. Now they're like, shit, that was dumb. That was fucking dumb. We train people not to buy games. Like, and it's like, really? It took you 7 years? We told you that like 7 minutes in. We were like, okay, let me think. How would this work out? And 7 minutes later, we were like, yep, that's dumb. But it took them seven
Yep.
years. And now you see these IGNs and everybody else is going like, yeah, maybe not. Maybe that was the downside to Game Pass after all. Yeah, maybe. It's
Yeah,
like,
like
really?
everybody that was glazing Game Pass,
I'm
now they
telling
starting to
you,
realize,
the best deal
maybe
in
this
gaming.
wasn't the best idea.
I'm just like, boy, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating because it's just like, I don't know. It's like you are being penalized for just saying it first. Like it's almost like you're the first person to kind of get up on the platform and be like, "Oh, there's land over there. We should turn the ship so we don't crash into it." And because you're the highest elevation and you can see before everyone else, everybody else treats you like you're an idiot. And it was like, there's only sea to be seen. And it's like, well, if you moved up here, you would see that. Like, just think, just come up and look. And they're like, nope, we're happy to be here where we are. It's like the flat earthers. It's just like everybody's telling you, oh, the earth is round. They're like, nah. Standing right on it, it looks flat to me. And you're like, yeah, because you're standing right on it. Get some elevation,
Right.
elevate yourself, and you'll be able to see it's round. And they're like, nah. And then you tell them, and you're like, wait, every other celestial body in the sky that you can see is round. Why wouldn't why wouldn't ours also be round? And I just like, but it doesn't look round from here though. And it's like, but why? Why are you dumb? Why are you dumb? Yo, that's one thing I
Oh
never
man.
understood about flat earthers, man. I've got to listen, man. Listen, you've got to think that our Earth is so special. if you look at every other celestial body through a telescope, and you're like, they're all generally spherical shapes, you know, and you think to yourself, yeah, but ours is just a flat plane of existence. Like, what
Just
is
looking
going
down
on?
sideways, looking at everything.
I'm,
Like, come
I'm
on,
telling you,
man. Yeah,
you're just like, bro, do you really think God made us that special? Like, we really like, oh, for you guys, I will break the rules of physics. Don't worry.
oh
Oh
my
man.
goodness, man.
Listen,
Yeah.
this has been a fun show. People, I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm kind of getting kind of hungry. But before we go, I want to try this game. Okay, I want to show you guys the game so that I don't know, maybe you'll enjoy it, or maybe you just tell me, hey Emmanuel, I'll never show you a game again. Okay, just cut that shit out. We're not interested. Okay, so let me see if I can put it up over here. Holy shit, how do I do this? Okay,
Well,
aha.
I tell you what, I'm gonna dip back to the chat, man. It was
Uh,
good talking to
it
you.
was
You know,
great
like I
talking
say,
to
I
you
appreciate you
too.
starting the stream for sure. Like you should definitely do this more often, man, for sure. Because
Yo,
this is
listen,
dope.
now
I
that
know
you
you got
now,
like a
now
lot
that you
of
gave me the bug, it's just gonna start happening. I'm gonna start going against Portorock. I'm gonna be like, hey, you can go to Portorock show or you can come to my show. Now you're gonna have to choose. You're gonna be like, no, no, the brothers are fighting.
oh man. Hey, well, you have a good one, man. I'll
Yeah,
holler at you later.
man. Thank you so much for coming through. I will still, take a few moments to show you guys about this game because we have to all be more games being played in the community is good. So thank you so much for coming through, for having a chat. If you guys are interested in kind of seeing what this game is about, I'll show you. If not, I guess we'll just I'll just lose viewers over time, and that'll be that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what the game is. I need water, so at a certain point I'm gonna have to dip out to get some water, but this is Slay the Spire. You have 4 characters. Only these 3 first characters here are going to be unlocked when you first open the game, so don't worry about that. And I'm just going to play on Ascension level 0, just to kind of show you and teach you what the mechanics are. So in case you haven't seen Slay the Spire before, this is what it is. Oh, one more thing that I should do is I should actually bring some of the sound back because I muted the sound. So let me just kind of move the sound a little bit to about maybe 15%. And let me see if I can get this application working so that there's a little bit of music in the background for you guys. So that's kind of what the thing sounds like. Okay. All right. So people, how are we feeling? How are we feeling in the chat? So the first character most people are going to play is probably the Ironclad. And I kind of have an issue with this character because he's my shittest character. This is kind of the character that I struggled the most with. Him and Silence. I do better with these 2 characters. The Watcher is my favorite. To unlock the Watcher, you have to beat the game at least once. But I'm going to go with the Ironclad. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm probably going to die with this guy. So don't worry about it. And we'll see. Okay? So y'all let me know right now. I'll tell you a little bit about the Ironclad and I'll show you a little bit about the UI. So first of all, we have the Ironclad right there, right? 80 health to start with, 99 gold following. These are potion slots. You can have 3 of them. You can eventually buy more potion slots if you get lucky. Over here is the map icon, and this is what your map layout is going to look like today. So in the map layout, you can highlight certain things. So for example, these are the elites. Elites are quite important to the game in order to actually battle them, because if you succeed, you get relics, and they are like passive bonuses, and they allow you to do some build crafting for your particular run. This is a roguelike, so whatever you lose, you've lost. It doesn't come back. You know what I'm saying? Oh, by the way, is the volume fine? Can you guys hear me over the music without too much trouble? Y'all let me know if there's any audio issues, right? Okay. So, we're going to be fighting the Act boss there at the very top. I was about to point at the screen as if you could see. There's red sites which will allow you to either heal your character or upgrade the card, so on and so forth, right? As well as that, this is your starting cards, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attack cards. We have 4 defend cards, right? And we have 1 bash. Bash has a special effect where you can apply a vulnerable, which means that for 2 turns, they will take 50% more damage from your attack cards. So that is pretty much the thing. You are building your cards in order to, have better effects. So we're going to go through a run together, and that's pretty much going to be it. At the beginning of the game, you have a few starting bonuses, okay? So right now, I can upgrade the card. I can get 100 more gold. I can obtain a curse but gain 250 gold, or I can lose my starting relic and get a random boss relic. I'll talk a little bit about the relics. So right now, I have Burning Blood, which means that at the end of each combat, I'm going to heal 6 HP. Now, this is at the end of each combat, not just progressing through the floor. So for example, if I go through these question marks, some of these question marks are known as events instead of a combat. So if I go through an event that is not a combat, then I will not be getting HP. So I don't just get free health for nothing. So for example, over here is a treasure chest. If I go through that chest, if I go for that chest, I will not be getting HP at the end of that particular, floor or whatever. Because this game is separated in floors, okay? Right, so what I want to do is I want to make a decision. And the very first thing you want to do is kind of take a look at your act and see what kind of a decision this will be. By the way, I'm playing through my PlayStation. This is remote play through my PC. So for a lot of people that wonder about remote play on the portal, if you kind of do this thing, you will be able to know about the performance, because my PC is in the same place as my PlayStation portal would be if I was in this room. So if you guys notice any glitches or whatever that is not from the stream, but that is actually like a hiccup from the remote play experience, just know that that is the performance that I'm getting in my house anyway. So it kind of gives you an idea for that. Okay, so I don't want to take a curse because the only way to remove a curse is at the shop, and a merchant is going to be quite far up. So there's no point in me taking a curse and carrying it all the way up there. There's certain events that allow you to also remove a card, but that's only if I want to gamble, okay? And normally I gamble, but I actually would like to not lose this one. So I'm going to take upgrading a card. Yes, I'm going to upgrade a card, and I'm just going to upgrade Bash. So right now it's going to do 10 more, it's going to do 2 more damage and apply vulnerable for 1 more turn. Okay, we're just going to go simple. And you know what? I want to do a fairly mixed one, so we're going to start over here. So I'm going to try to explain my choices as we go, but basically we're just going to start by just hitting the enemy, because at the moment he's actually just taking a buff. If you highlight an enemy, it will tell you what they're intending to do and exactly how that mechanic plays out. So one of the biggest things that you can do is always highlight the enemy to understand what they are doing and kind of what they're up to and how the individual mechanics work. Okay, so we're just going to let that go. And now I'm going to bash, and I'm just going to defend. So I'm going to take 1 HP loss. But do remember that I heal at the end of each fight. So over here, I think I can just finish him off because I bashed him. So heal, and I'm going to take a new card. I'm going to take this one over here because I can deal 8 damage to all enemies. Okay, so let's continue. We do an event. So this is an event where we can heal 26, but I already have full health. Or I can get 5% 5 more HP, or I can uptake a relic over here. So, or I can get a relic and get a curse. So I don't know. I'm going to go for max health. Okay, we're going to try to not die this one. So it's going to be less embarrassing. So this one, I'll just use this card over here, and then I can get rid of this guy. And I don't have any defense cards, so I'm just gonna have to take the hit here. Just gonna have to take the 10 to the face. I will hit still 6 of that, so it's not too bad. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention is that if you look over here, I hope you can see the mouse pointer. I have 3 energy per turn. Okay, so each card has an energy cost, and I do have to manage that. But this one I can quickly get out of this fight. So there we go. I heal some. This is a regen potion. Okay, and now I have a few cards to choose from. So the first one is Pommel Strike. It will do 9 damage and allow me to take 1 more card from my draw pile. Over here, we have Demon Form, which means that at the start of the next turn, I'm going to start gaining 2 strength, which will make my attack cards stronger. So instead of dealing 6 damage, for example, my standard cards are going to deal 8 damage. And then every turn after that, it will get more and more strength. So you get 2 strength every single turn after I've played it. But it has a high energy cost, which means that basically if I play this card I will not be able to play anything else in that particular turn. So I'm going to take that though, because, you know, you always need a way to be more powerful. So let's go ahead and try to do this. So I can't play the card this turn because I'm going to take 11 damage. Unfortunately, I just have to defend because the 11 is a little bit more than I want to take. And I'm going to have to let that go. Okay. So striking, because he's not attacking me at the moment. What he's going to do there, so if you see an icon you haven't seen before, he's going to be blocking and applying a block at the same time. So applying a buff at the same time. So over here, again, I won't be able to use the demon form, but I try to apply this. This will do 12 damage, this will do 9. So we're just going to take the 12 damage and we're just going to take 10 to the face, which hurts, you know, that hurts my feelings, but I can kill him in the next turn. Okay. Let me know, you guys, if I'm going too fast or if you want more explanations about what I'm doing in this particular game. By the way, this game is on PlayStation Plus, so in case you want to give it a try, give it a go there. Now, this one over here allows me to upgrade 2 random cards, but I lose 17 HP. Considering with this character that I can get that HP back through going through combats, I'm going to go for that gamble, but it is random cards. And at the moment, what I would like upgraded is Demon Form and Armaments, okay? If you have a card, you can press triangle, no, X first, and then you can press triangle to see what the upgrade would be. So over here, the upgrade will be that I gain, you know, 5 block, and it will upgrade all the cards on my hands for the rest of the combat. The standard version only upgrades 1 card for the rest of the combat. So these 2 is what I'm hoping to upgrade for free, or I guess for 17 HP. And I didn't get any of them, so unfortunately it is what it is. So I'm going to do an upgrade myself, and I'm going to upgrade this guy right here. Now, when that card, Armaments, upgrades a card for you, it only upgrades it during that combat. So unfortunately, it doesn't act as a permanent upgrade the way that upgrading at the west side actually does. Okay, so now I'm going to do that. Gonna defend once, and I'm going to cleave. Oh, one thing about this particular enemy is that he will steal 15 gold from you whenever he attacks. You get that gold back if you manage to beat him, but if you don't beat him, he will eventually make an escape, and you will have to, you know, just live with that fact. We have 30 gold, which he has stolen from me, so I get that back. 18 gold from him. A fire potion, which will do 20 damage to one enemy, and then some new set of cards, and I'm going to take the Pommel Strike because it allows me to draw 1 more card. Now over here, this is the Burning Elite. Okay, if only the game had dodge and parry, it would be so good. It would be so much better. Slay the Spire Tree needs to have dodge and parry. Okay, we're going to take the Burning Elite, which is a stronger version of the elites. So he already starts with 2 strength, as you can see from the bottom there. But it's okay. We're just going to try to do what we can over here. So let's try to put some pain on him. And we'll see if I survive this, because that's again not guaranteed. Now, one thing about this enemy here is that he has a special thing. If I play a skill cast, he's going to get 2 more strength. So that can give you a little bit of hesitation towards playing skill cards. I'm also going to drink the regen potion, okay? So what I mean there is that at the end of my turn, I'll be healing 5 HP, and then it will reduce by 1. So the next turn I will heal 4 HP, then 3 HP, so on and so forth. So the thing with this guy is that playing a skill card and defending doesn't really help you in the long run, because basically he just gets stronger. So it's a damage, it's kind of like you're trying to just run to the finish line. And in order to do that, I'm going to play this power. I'm going to accept the 16 damage to the face. When you're fighting elites, a lot of the time you're just going to be taking damage. But I'm trying to basically outscale him so that I can damage him more before he starts to kill me, you know, basically. Now, I'm just going to just going to take the damage, guys. We're just going to cry about it and make our way there. This time I can upgrade this card and I can defend. The reason I chose to defend there is that he only has 12 HP left. I don't have to take anything. I'll just kill him next turn as long as I have an attack card. So right here, 12 damage. So I can get rid of that. And I can save a little bit of health. Now this is a relic. And this is why you want to fight elites. Is that at the end of the, you know, elite fight, you're going to get some kind of relic. This one over here means that whenever I lose HP, I'm going to lose one less. So it doesn't sound that powerful, but it can be. Okay, this is the emerald key. This only matters if you've beaten the game at least once. So don't worry about that. We won't even go for the heart. And I have a few cards to choose from. I'm going to choose... is it a bloodletting or inflame? Either get more strength immediately, or I want bloodletting so that if I get the demon card, if I get this card over here, the demon form, I can play this, get some energy back, because it gives me 2 energy as long as I lose 3 HP. So I'm going to take that. That way if I get them both at the same time, I can keep playing that turn. Okay, here's another chest. So 72 gold. The Eternal Feather means that for every 5 cards in my deck, I'm going to heal 3 HP when I enter a red side. So this can be a passive heal that can happen whenever you enter a red side. By the way, a red site is going to be these fire icons over here. So every time that I enter a red site, I'm going to automatically heal. At the moment, it's going to be 9 HP. So that can be quite useful. And I do want to go to the shop as well. So the merchant is going to be just there. So I'm going to try to do that. And we're going to see how we go. Okay, so we're going to defend for this particular turn, because honestly I don't really have a lot to do. Maybe attack this guy, and yeah, just let it go, just take the hit. Hopefully we should have enough healing. So this one wanted to this is a perfect chance. So I'm going to lose 3 HP to get 2 more energy, so now I have 5 out of 3. And now I'm going to play demon form, but then as well as that, I can actually just defend myself over here. And actually, I should have attacked that guy. I really should have attacked him, because it would have killed him and he wouldn't have hit me, but it's whatever. Mistakes were made. So this is why I say that I'm not really the best at playing with this particular character. I just tend to make a lot of mistakes. So there we go. It's okay. We'll be able to heal all of that. And I'm going to take Headbutt in this case, because I can deal 9 damage. I can put a card from my discard pile back on top of my draw pile. So I can play a card again, basically. Okay, so over here I got the heal, and I'm going to upgrade the card. I will upgrade Demon Form, right? Since we're going to play it and it costs so much, I may as well get the maximum benefit out of it. And now here is the shop. And in the shop, you have a few things. So the first 2 cards on the left are always going to be attack cards, then 2 skill cards, then 1 power card. So that's the top row. Then you have colorless cards at the bottom 2 here. So that's excellent, because colorless cards can be really, really interesting. And over here we have 3 relics. So you can choose, you can buy all of them if you have the money for it. Okay. As well as that, you can remove a card. Now, card removing is something that is not intuitive, but it's actually really important, because if I can stop drawing less of the bad cards or my weaker cards, then I can choose my stronger cards more often. And that's the kind of idea behind that. And I can buy potions as well. So right now, I'm just going to take this one, which means that it's going to do 25% damage on elites immediately at the start of the combat, which will make those fights a lot easier. And then I can choose a flame barrier. So that's what I'm going to do. I could buy a potion as well, but there's a chance that you get potions at the end of your combat. So we're just going to kind of proceed, and we're going to get more passive healing, and that'll give me a chance to upgrade another card. And this time I'll choose Flame Barrier. Gives me 16 block, and it does damage back when I'm attacked that particular turn. So that's good. Gonna draw one here. Gonna defend, and I'm gonna play this card, and I'm gonna get this card back. Okay. So hopefully this is making sense to everybody, you know. I'm going to apply Bash here because it will apply the vulnerable. And now, I wanted to play Flame Barrier, but actually I may have to, because I don't really have too many other options to do damage. This will do 6 damage. Nah, it's okay. We'll just protect, because the Flame Barrier itself does 6 damage. And I can headbutt him to end the particular fight. Okay, so in this case, we're going to do Uppercut. Uppercut applies weak, which means that the enemy will do 25% less damage and 1 vulnerable. And then finally over here, we are going to go and upgrade Uppercut immediately. And this is just the first act, by the way. So there's 3 acts in the game. So just in case you're like, wow, Emmanuel, that went quickly. Well, there's more to come, I suppose. So right now we're going to Flame Barrier immediately. And we'll still be taking a lot to the face because he's doing 7 times 6, which is 42 damage. So we're just going to try to defend, and I defend 21. Okay, so right there, if you saw, the tungsten rod activated, so that's a good thing. In that, you know, I'm going to play Demon Form this turn, yes, because I only take 6 damage to play it, and now I get 3 more strength every single turn. So now I can just focus on defending for a little bit, kind of defend that hit, and then I can start attacking. And you're going to see that my attacks do more and more damage the more time goes on. So that's going to be the good thing about it, okay? Gonna try to get through this fight quickly. So let's see. You guys are talking about Clear Obscure, man. I love Clear Obscure. If it wasn't spoilers, I'll probably put it on stream because right now I'm quite far in the game and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So, but maybe if you guys want, there will be a Clear Obscure stream. So y'all let me know if you're interested in that. And I will do such a thing for you guys because, yeah, shit, why not? Let's have fun together, right? Okay, so this one is exactly what I got the Flame Barrier for. And that's it. We'll just let it go. Now, you guys see there that he's kind of got a countdown thing going on. So by the next hit, he does a lot of damage. So we're just going to try to end this fight quite rather quickly. Yeah, we don't want to take that next hit because it will be bigger than the last one, I think. Oh, it's actually smaller, 4x6. Either way, we're out of there. We can get out of there. And that is 1 act done. And we are going to definitely take the feed. So feed says that if I kill an enemy with this particular card, then it will increase my maximum HP by 3. But the downside of this card is that if you play it just once, it will exhaust, which means that it will be removed from your hand until the end of combat. So it doesn't come back unlike the other cards. So that's all right. And I have 3 boss relics to choose from. I'm going to try to take my time explaining what each one of these does. So Mark of Pain over here gives you 1 energy, but it will shuffle 2 wounds into your hands. And wounds are basically 2 cards that you cannot play. So that's actually quite annoying. Slaver's Collar is going to give you 1 extra energy, but only during your boss and elite combats. And Pandora's Box is going to transform all of your strike and defend cards, okay? So over here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards that it will defend. Since I didn't remove, sorry, that it will transform. Since I didn't remove any of these cards during this particular act, that's what I'm going to choose because then I will have 9 other cards and there's a good chance that those cards will be better than the default cards. So I highly recommend this option in case you haven't removed any cards. So here are the 9 cards that I got. Wild Strike, which is again better than the standard one. It does 12 damage instead of just 6. Shrug It Off, 8 block and the card. Blood for Blood is interesting because it costs 4 energy, but every time you take a hit, it costs 1 less. So it can be a free card if you take 4 hits. Uppercut again, which we've seen. Dark Embrace is a particularly good card. Corruption goes really well with Dark Embrace. Actually, these 2 powers at a time work really well together because Eruption is going to exhaust a card and Dark Embrace means that you're going to draw an additional card for each card that is exhausted. So if you can play both of them in the same combat, it can be really, really good. And these other cards, we'll just kind of see them in action. Okay, let's go to Act 2. So, right, so that's the Act boss. I think he's called the Bronze Automaton. So that's kind of, I think that's his name. The first thing I want to highlight is elites. Ideally, I would like to fight 2 elites per act, okay? So, because I'm just at the base thing. But there is a path that allows me to fight 3 elites. So if we're feeling confident in the game, we might be able to fight 3 elites and see what we get. We have about 172 gold and we'll get more as the act progresses. So it would be nice to hit a shop. But if I want to fight 3 elites, I might only be able to hit this shop up here on the right hand side. So I think I can play with the mouse. So maybe this shop right here might be the only one that I can go to. And that way I can still hit 3 elites. And that's kind of all I need. And in terms of decisions, I'm going to try to, I think, get extra combat in. We'll see how we go. Okay. So this guy is quite annoying. So what he will do is that at the end of his turn, he's going to gain 14 block. And if he receives unblocked damage, he's going to reduce by 1. So you can eventually make a dent. I think I'm going to play Flame Barrier here. Or I just play Demon Form and take 10. I think I'm going to play Demon Form, take 10. And I just kind of like hope that I get better than that later. Okay. So I should be take 9. So I'm going to upgrade my cards over here. I don't have any defense cards, so unfortunately it is what it is. So I'm going to try to get a defense card for next turn. Let's see. If the enemy is vulnerable, he's not vulnerable. I could draw 2 cards, but I won't have any energy to play them. So in this case, I'm just going to play 14. And now he's only going to get 12 block for the next turn. So take 4 there. Over here, I'm going to play my block card. Let's see. I'm going to sacrifice some health. And I'm going to play the vulnerable. That way I can do more damage. I should play that card actually. I completely forgot. Okay. Over here, definitely going to play this one. Because I can do a whole bunch of damage. And I'm going to play this guy in order to do some block. I'm going to try not to play too quickly so you guys have the time to like read the cards. And you guys are just having a completely different conversation. From what I can see, you guys are just having a completely different conversation in the chat. But we're out of this fight. So let's continue. Okay, I love Metallicized. But I really love Sword Boomerang. I'm going to take Sword Boomerang Plus because it's already upgraded. And I'm going to... I need some potions. So I'm going to go... I'm going to go this way. Why not? So this one, I can play Corruption. I think this has to be a pretty short fight, right? Yeah, it has to be a pretty short fight. So we're just going to try to play Corruption. Gonna use that skill. Okay. So let's see. We're going to definitely do this. Oh, I forgot to have feed. Yeah, I should really work around feed. And do that. We're going to try to feed on these people so I can maximize my health. Okay, this is a bad turn. This is really, really horrible. Because I don't really have any defense cards this turn. So that's going to suck. Okay, well, that sucks. 20 damage to the face. Let's first block, shrug it off. Oh, we should definitely do Dark Embrace. Now, I could kill him right now, but I really don't want to get feedback. And feed is in a draw pile. So we're going to just try to damage him without killing him. So that I can try to feed on him next turn. And that is not working. I don't think we're going to get to feed on this guy, unfortunately, because I do not have enough block. And I don't want to take 14 damage just to get 3 maximum health back. So that's not going to work. Hopefully we feed on the next guys. Okay, so we're going to see how we can go about it. Okay, we're going to upgrade this. And we can do... Oh, I don't know. Let's do this one. So unfortunately, in terms of health, guys, we are not doing the best here. You know, we're definitely taking hits. And I would like to apply this wick over here, and we can get that. Hopefully we can at least feed on this guy, because we're taking a whole lot of damage. So we got feed here. That is going to do 15 damage. So we're going to... First we have to remove the block. Oh, man. I am not getting lucky with feed. Let me tell you, because right now it's only going to do 15 damage. If I use this one, I can kill him, but then I don't get to feed on him. So I'm going to try to block this so that we can try to come back and reshuffle into a feed. But that's only if I can block all the way as we go through, you know. So this one here is going to do 16 damage, and yeah, that's okay. Let's see. First this. I killed him. Oh well. Oh well. You try. Heavy blade, definitely. We're going to try to feed again. Normally I'm better with feed, actually. Normally I get a lot more satisfaction, a lot more you know, utility out of that card. But it's been like 3 combats and I haven't been able to get it. You know, yeah, some of these cards are really like impactful. Some of them can do a lot of things at once. Okay, so taking 15 damage. One thing I'm realizing in this deck is I don't have enough block. I'm just taking a whole lot of damage from people, and I really need more block cards to be included. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna find myself very quickly losing this game. But like I said, this is my worst character, and I typically this isn't even surprising for this character for me. I do really struggle to play him well. So at least with full block there, and each time he attacks me, he will do that. So here's feed, but I first have to actually damage this guy enough. So hopefully we can. So this is going to do 15 damage, and that is just enough. So finally, I got 3 more HP, max HP. So I got something back. We're going to take Dropkick now, because I have a card that can apply vulnerable. Actually, I have 2 cards that can apply vulnerable. Okay, so here I get to remove a card from my deck, and we are definitely... Oh, I don't think I should remove a card from my deck, actually. But I don't think I get out of this. This doesn't let me... I kind of selected it, and now I'm stuck with it. I should have checked if I wanted to remove a card, but I think I can remove Wild Strike. I usually don't like this card because it adds wounds into my hand, and they just take up card slots. So let's just remove this guy. It's okay. I didn't really have to, but we can do that. I'm going to fight this elite over here because I have a few options. I would really love to play this card now, but I just don't really have the bandwidth to do that. So let's do this instead. Let's try to kill this guy at the back. That will do 13 damage. This one is going to be more random. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to use the potion. I'm going to just damage that guy. I'm going to apply a regen. And now I can defend. I think defend is going to be the best thing that I can do. Get a little bit less damage taken, so that we can survive. Now over here, I could do this and that, but that's not going to help me as much as blocking will. So let's just do, you know, a little bit of a damage back to them. Try to not lose everything on one go. Now feed over here is going to do 7. So let's do a little bit of blocking. Get some things out. Let's do that. 10, is that enough? No, 11. So we can do this, and I get to choose a card back. So let me choose this card, and then I can feed on that guy, and I can only do it once per combat. So unfortunately, I can't feed on the other guy as well. So I'm going to make him vulnerable, and 21 damage. Damn. 19 damage. It's okay. I can heal those things, and it only take 1 damage there, so that's fine. That is fine. I think we can destroy him with this combination over here. So there we go. Elite done. Now the T set. The T set means that if I enter a red site, I will get 2 more energy at the start of the next combat, but only for the first turn. So it's a pretty good one. Liquid Memories is a good potion. It allows you to get a card back from your discard pile, but it will only cost 0 that turn that you get it back. So that's good. And I definitely need more block cards, so I'm just going to go for the Shrug It Off because we are just taking way too much damage. We're going to go here so we can get some passive healing from the previous relic. So over here, this particular relic here is what gave us the Eternal Feather, gave us the heal. And I'm going to then upgrade the card. So I could upgrade Feed because I want to use it more often, or I could upgrade Blood for Blood. in terms of upgrades, or I could upgrade corruption so that it only costs 2 instead of 3. Let's see. Or I could upgrade dark embrace. So there's a few great upgrades here that I can do. At the moment, I think I definitely want to use feed more. So let me just upgrade that. And let's fight another elite. The Book of Stabbing. So this guy pretty much just attacks you every single turn. I mean, he's called the Book of Stabbing, so he stabs you. We're going to apply a weak, so he only does 15. And let's see. We could do this guy or we could do strength. So 21 or upgrade this guy. You know what? Or I could just do another uppercut so that he's again weak and vulnerable for longer. I'm going to do that. I'm going to let that go. Okay, so we take 6 damage there. I can't feed on him right now because it's too far. So he's going 8 damage, so I can definitely play this. And I'm going to try to get energy back, play demon form so I get more powerful as time goes. And this one will allow me to bring a card back. So I'm going to attack this guy and I'm going to bring back a defense card. I just don't have enough of those. By the way, I can definitely see the cards that are coming up. So this is in a random order, okay? This is not the order in which they will be played, but these are just the cards in my draw pile. These are the cards in my discard pile, okay? And that's at the corner, bottom corner there, okay? And in the middle, of course, the cards that I can play right now. So right now, I am interested in at least playing 1 defense so that I can, you know, not die immediately. Then I can play certain cards over here. This one is going to do 9 by 4, so that's 36 damage. This one is going to apply 1 more vulnerable. And vulnerable does 50% more damage, remember, each time. So I definitely want to play vulnerable as often as I can, especially if I'm going to use feed. Okay, so right now feed is in my discard pile. I don't think I have a way to protect against 21 damage, so I just really don't see the point in doing that. Let me see if... Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of him. Now, the pending means that every 10th attack that I play will deal double damage. So that's cool. That's another relic. So another passive thing. Duplicate the potion. And I'm going to play second. I'm going to choose second wind here. Okay. And we're going to see it in action when it works. Okay. I had the game plan. And my plan was kind of go up to this chest over here that I'm highlighting. Then through the west side on top. Then I'm going to go for the combat. Visit the shop to see if I can buy something, or I skip the shop and I go through the Pyreside so that I have extra energy for that elite. Interesting. We'll see how we go. We'll see what we get. Over here, a bottle tornado means that I will choose the power to start with. So over here, if I take it, I would like to start with demon form each time. Why not? Okay, so let's go. We nearly have full health, guys. We're doing it all right, okay? This one isn't as terrible as I may have anticipated. I'm going to upgrade Heavy Blade. And the reason is that if you have strength, it will multiply the effect of that by 5. So it does a lot of damage. And we are going for a strength build over here. So we're going to see how we go. So we're definitely going to play this turn. And because he's not attacking us, so it's kind of free. And we're going to attack that guy. Okay. So now the thing about the Snecko, this enemy, is that he will apply a negative effect on me. And the negative effect is confusion. The cost of my card gets randomized every single time I draw it. So some cards now cost 0, other cards cost 3 when they were not supposed to. So it's kind of a crapshoot with him. You kind of get whatever you get. So if you get lucky, it costs you less. If you don't get so lucky, it costs you a lot more. So I'm going to play this one. And I'm just going to let him go. I have extra energy there, but I couldn't use it. Going to attack him with this. Going to defend with that. Over here, I will do 66 damage. So I could kill him now. Or I could try to feed on him if I get the card back. But honestly, I don't think I will get the card back. I can defend though for a while. So I'm going to try just to lower him down so that he is more easier to defeat. And I went too far. It doesn't matter. Sometimes I just don't do the math right. It's fine. I'm not going to go to the shop. I'm just going to keep fighting. Try to feed on people. Because really, I really should be doing a much better job at that. Okay, let's do a barrier to protect ourselves. And we're going to try to kill this guy first over there. Okay. And we'll get this card back over here. Now this card here gives me 3 strength if the enemy intends to attack. So I'll use it here. I would really like to get some block in. So there we go. At least we can defend against that 20 hit. So I'll take 6 out of this. It's fine. Let's see. I'll play corruption, because then all my skill cards, which are my defend cards in this case, will be 0 cost. So at least I can defend again against these hits. I think I'm taking a little bit too long to kill these guys though. So I would really love it if I could get some damage down. Let's see. Definitely gonna play this guy. Heal that one. Over here, let's do 23 damage. Okay, took 20 there. Not particularly fun. 56 damage is kind of high, man. Jesus Christ. What about this? 60 damage? Yes, I can feed on that guy. There we go. Alright. We're going to take Seeing Red. We could really use more energy in this deck. And I'm just going to upgrade that card immediately. Thankfully, the passive heal allows me to kind of play with a little bit more recklessness, because I can heal every time I enter red side. So we're definitely going to play. We have 5 energy. We are going. Do I want to play corruption? No, I want to play demon form. I want to shrug. And I think I just want to hit everybody for a little bit, okay? Or I can do 8 damage, which can get rid of this guy. Yeah, let's just get rid of that guy first. That way we just take a little bit less damage. Now, I've got potions up there. Normally, I reserve the potions for the elite fights, but I'm going to see if I can go a little bit of a ways without playing the potion. So right now, I can do 12 damage, get 1 card back. I can again sacrifice. And we're just going to try to put a slime down on this guy. So right there, we have him at a pretty good level. Hopefully, if we get feed, we'll be able to do some damage. 21 damage is good. Ooh. Do I have enough? Let's see. Feed should be coming up, and I really want to feed on him. The good thing about this elite is that if I kill him, the other guys will go. But right now, I just have to block a little bit just to see if I can survive until the help gets there. 11 damage isn't going to do anything to anyone here. So you know what? Let's see. What can I do? I'm going to get Flame Barrier back. So this card here allows me to put a card from my discard pile back on top of my draw pile. So what I'll do is I'll do 15 damage here. And I'll just get a Flame Barrier in case I don't get feed and I have to defend again next turn. At least it will hurt a little bit less. So yeah, I didn't get feed. So let me just defend a little bit. I can apply this and I can go blood for blood. And I can get rid of, I'll get rid of this guy. Okay, so I should get feed on this turn. There we go. And feed has to be used, by the way, on the boss. It can't be used on the minions. So there we go. Hopefully that was worth it. Okay, Calipers. Calipers means that you don't lose your entire block at the start of your turn. You only lose 15 blocks, so that's good. But right now I don't generate enough block for that to be useful anyway. A skill potion. And I'm going to get my metallicize that I wanted to get before. And I'm going to upgrade. Let's see. This is a longer fight, so I'm not going to play corruption as much. I'm not going to play dark embrace, but I would like the extra block because I'm really struggling to block. And this guy does a really big hit. So I'm going to play the strength card there, and then I'm going to just attack him. We're just going to attack him. You know, get him hearing us a little bit. Let's see. I want to get stronger quicker, so we're going to do that. We're definitely going to sacrifice to get the energy. You know, we're gonna have to play this anyway. So we're going to do I have 14 block. I could get one more. You know what? I'm just going to play this. So he took my feed there. So actually, I might keep him my feed. You can kind of use these guys as a bank. because you know that you won't be able to get that card back anyway. So you know, let me play this guy here so I can get rid. By the way, this guy, he had artifacts, so we made that he blocked the special effects on my cards. But let's see, 25 damage is a little bit too much. I don't want to play that. Let me play the 4 now. Now metallicize means that I have 4 block on each turn at the very basics, so that's nice. I'm going to do ghostly armor, so I get 10 block. And let's see, this one will release the field. You know what? Why not? Let's just do it. That's okay. Oh, I shall play uppercut. Let's see, over here, let me get the skill potion. My next attack is placed twice. You know what, let me get this one. That way I can play uppercut here, and I can make that guy weaker. And then I can attack. I can play uppercut again, and I can play that card. Okay. So that's okay, take 8. It's not the worst. Now you can see there, this card gets really powerful there. But we can make it even more powerful by using this guy as an offshoot. Now it does 104 damage. So we're definitely going to do that. Okay, hopefully I get back to feed. Now this is the big hit. Now the good thing is that at the end of this particular fight, I will be able to heal from my kind of loss, you know. So it is what it is. Oh, I could finish him there, but I don't get to feed, which is fine, really. I don't. Do I have to feed every single time? No, because even if I wanted to feed, I still have 10, 12 cards to go through, so it would be too many cycles. So we're just going to end it here. Okay, so there we go. 99 gold, power card, and then we're going to add... We could play Reaper, which will heal me back for damage. We could get extra energy. We really would like some extra energy. That would be great. Let's see. You know what? Let me go for extra energy or exhaust, which means that I could play. If I get exhume, I can play feed more than once in a particular turn. You know what? Let me do exhume. Why not? Now we have a few options. Black blood, which means that instead of healing 6 HP, I will heal 12, which is good because I get a lot of hits. This one, Black Star, at least drop an additional relic, which is all right. And then Tiny House is shit. I'm just gonna go for Black Blood, I think, because Black Star I normally like, but we're only probably gonna fight only 2 elites, and so I'm just gonna go for the heal, just so that I can show you the end of the game. Act 3 is going to be the natural end for the game, for at least your first time. So we're going to check how many elites we can fight here. Again, there's the most is going to be 2 elites. So I think we're going to go this way, and we're going to try to go up this route. We're going to go to the right towards the shop. Then we're going to go towards the events, hit this elite, west, hit that elite, go to probably another shop, or maybe we can go this way and get a 3rd elite. Actually, we can fight 3. Maybe I should have taken Black Star. That actually could have been a good thing, but we can't go back now. So let's just go with the decision that we made. Right, so we're definitely going to do a few things here. I never mind, because we're going to heal 12 at the end of this fight, we definitely can sacrifice to get extra health. So that's perfectly fine there. And we can just play this one, and we'll just get this one back. So we're going to play... Oh, we're going to take a lot of damage there. Jesus Christ. I don't think there's anything that's going to help us this time. Let's see. We go second wind. We don't even have a block card. Yeah, we need more block in this card, in this deck. Even the power potion is not likely to help me in this case, so I'm just going to take a hit to the face. Thank God I'm going to heal a good part of it. Hopefully in the next combat I heal a much better chunk of that, because that was truly painful. So let's go for 10 there. We could do 9 damage there. 22. We can take 22. Heal spot weakness there. Shrug it off. We don't need to worry too much about that. We can play this guy instead. The thing with this one is that you have to kill them all at the same time, otherwise they come back to life. So you kind of have to manage where you are. And feed will only work for the very last one of them. You know, so you have to kind of make sure that you time your killing right, otherwise you don't get much. Okay, let's see. 24. We can do 25 there. You know what? I'm just going to use a dupe potion, so it's going to just play the card twice. And then I can feed on 24. There we go. Try to get our health back. 7 block. You know what? This card says block, so I'm going to take it. Because right now, I just need to block. Now, this guy does some damage to us on turn 1. But I have to outscale him. In that I have to get faster than him. Otherwise, he just does way more damage. Because every single turn, he's going to go up by 3 strength. So actually the same as me. So we're going to basically see which one of us gets to the promised land faster, because one of us has to die, and I hope that is not me. Okay. So let's see over here. Let's headbutt. We're going to headbutt this card over here. Just got some pathetic level of block. So you see that he just gets past really quickly. So let's just make him a little bit weaker. And we're just going to take another hit. This one we can just defend though. I could kill him now, but I think there's a chance I get feed next turn. And I'm already full blocking him, so he's not taking any damage. Ah, of course not. Why would I get... Why would it work my way? Let's see. Ah, here's feed. There we go. Boom. Okay, so we're not doing too bad. None of these say block, so I'm gonna skip the cards. That's something that you can do in this game. You can just skip cards. You don't have to take them. Okay. Now, over here, Brimstone is interesting. At the start of your turn, you gain 2 strength, but all enemies will gain 1. So I'm gonna try that actually. I think we can make that work. And I definitely want another metallicize just because it's a block. This one says block, but it will exhaust the card at random, and I'm not so sure about the whole random thing, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Put an attack card from your draw pile into your hand. That could be really powerful depending on the attack. Actually, I'm gonna do that because it allows me to bring feed if I want to just feed immediately, and I can play that. So we're going to just do those cards and we're going to move forward. Some events for us. Now, this fight is really, really tough. Okay, and you know what? I'm gonna try it. 2 of these guys is definitely a pain. I'm definitely going to use a whole lot of things here. Let's see. I don't actually, these are not good powers for this particular fight. So, you know what? We're just gonna go with that. Let's see. I would love to... Let's see. I'm just going to... Let's go with weak. Yeah, I don't think there's much I can do. This is a particularly bad turn for this fight. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Liquid Memories, and I'm going to Liquid Memories the Demon form. So it's 0 cost this turn, and I can play it this turn. And then I'm going to try to just kind of get more powerful than these guys get powerful, because really, I'm not sure if I should have bet against these guys. It's going to be a pretty nasty fight. This fight is never easy at the best of times. So there's that. Now this one over here, it says at the end of your turn, lose watch AP and do 5 damage to all enemies. So this guy's already dead because I'll do 5 damage to him. So I'm just going to try to kill this guy here at the back. So let's just use what we can over here. Yep, so we kill him and we'll kill the other guy automatically as well. So there we go, we survived. Whew, that was a tough fight. It's always, if normally I lose that fight. It's actually quite rather embarrassing to say, but definitely normally I lose that fight. Nah, I don't want any of these cards. I'm just going to go for the next one. Now this one is almost always worth it, so I'm going to go for that. Apotheosis will upgrade all of my cards in for the rest of the combat, so that's definitely one that I'll take. Bandage up for some extra healing. And Mayhem. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll do Apotheosis. I'm going to do Trip actually instead of Bandage up. And then I'm going to do Mayhem. I don't think there's any case where I don't want to play the first card. And I can heal after this fight. Now, I've got a new thing here called Gambling Chip, which means that at the start of my turn, I can choose which cards I want. So I definitely want the Corruption, so the Demon Form, but I don't actually need any of these other cards over here. So let's just try to replace them. Nothing else really. At least I get more powerful. And this guy, he's going to count 5 turns, and then at the end of 5 turns, he does really big damage. So that's basically the way that he works. But in the meantime, I think we can put some hurt on him, you know. And thankfully, we have the Preserved Insect, which is over here, which means that 25% of the HP is already gone from the start of an elite fight, and this counts as an elite fight. I'm going to do this one because I want to upgrade the cards. Then I'm going to use Trip. Secret Attack. Do I want to put an attack in my deck? In my hand right now? No, there's not really anything. I think the only thing I can do here is just block. So unfortunately the countdown is happening, so I have about 2 more turns. I could upgrade this guy. I could start doing more damage. Let's see. I think we're gonna have to just go for the damage, guys, because we really don't want to be here when he starts to do his biggest hits. So yeah, we're just going to have to, or I could just upgrade all the cards. 41 damage is not nothing though. So you know what, we're just gonna go for the damage route. Okay, we don't have time to really hang around and start taking big hits. So you can see here the big hit starts with like 35, and really I do not have time to take a lot of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this portion over here, and we're just going to do 39 damage twice, and we're going to make him weaker as well. We're going to try to play, we're definitely playing this card over here. We can play Metallicized and block. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do that. So let's do that so that we get some block, and we block 23. Because now the damage is going to start ramping up really quickly. So unfortunately, we just have to kill him. We can feed on somebody else. Okay. We're going to do Battle Trance. Let's see. Battle Trance allows us to draw 4 more cards, which would be great because that means that we can actually do that now. We got a good heal there, so that Eternal Fed is looking better. And the more cards I have, the better it is. Now I'm going to upgrade Apotheosis, so it only costs 1, and it upgrades all of the other cards as long as I draw that card. So it's fantastic for that. And with that, I actually feel quite confident that I can do a good amount of things. Now over here, he's definitely going to hit me. So I'm going to keep these cards. Okay, my thinking here is that let me play the card that I want to play. Then I'm going to play this one because it weakens him, so he only does 15 damage. And I can actually play this portion. It will play the top 3 cards in my draw pile. Now I don't know what these cards are because remember this order here is randomized, but there's a good chance that it hits something good. So let's see what it does. Metallicize and Battle Trance. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst thing ever. Okay. Now here's the thing about this guy. Every other turn, so every second turn, he'll become intangible, which means that all of the damage that you will do will be reduced to just 1. So basically you have to defend on these turns because there's no point in you attacking. So first I'm going to play Apotheosis, so everything is upgraded. Then I'm going to play Flame Barrier. Let's see. I could play this one, try to draw another block card, but I'm just going to take the L there and just take 15 extra damage there. So you can definitely see how this starts being a lot. Okay, so we're going to do this one. We can draw 2 cards. Oh, he's doing 27 damage. I really do have to, you know, play a few things. Thankfully, that's going to do... We can do this one 102 damage, guys. We can get out of this fight immediately. Okay, so this one combines the pen nib. So now I'm doing double the damage that I normally would do. And you know what? I don't want to take 27, so I'm just going to get rid of him. Okay. Regal Pillar. Whenever I rest, I will get 15 more HP. So that's a lot of healing that I get at the start of everything. Definitely going to take an Infernal Blade. It's going to put a random attack card in my hand, but it will cost 0. Okay, so that's nice. And that attack card can sometimes be everything that you need. Now, in this case, definitely going to go this way. The Audi Smoothstone. You know what? I want to show you guys the full game. So, you know what? We're going to go and we're going to try to beat their heart. Why not? We'll play the full thing. The whole enchilada for you guys. Okay. I haven't been doing a lot of mayhem or a lot of dark embrace or a lot of corruption. So I really do have to upgrade these cards. So let's see, where do we start? No, I'm a big fan of mayhem. It can mess up my my use of feed because it can play feed for me, but you know what? Sometimes you just have to go for it. So we're going to try to keep. This is actually a decent hand. Yeah, sure, why not? We're going to try to keep that. We have some extra energy, so that's nice. We'll play the next card automatically on turn 1. I don't want to get rid of these daggers. So let's do 11 here. Secret weapon. Do I have something that I want to bring forward? I could bring Infernal Blade up. But let's do 24 there. And let's do secret weapon. And we're going to try... Actually, I can't bring anything that I want forward. You know what? We can get rid of this one at least from the draw order. So the reason you want to kill the daggers on turn 1 is that if you don't kill them on turn 1, they will do basically 25 or 27 damage in this case because they get powered up. So we can try Infernal Blade, see what we get. We get Clash, which means I have to have everything. That's not particularly useful. So let's kill that guy. Let's apply Weak on that guy. And that's pretty much all I can do. I can play the top 3 cards in my deck again. So we're going to see what I get. And that's pretty much it, okay? Just some damage to be eaten there by my face. Okay, so we are definitely going to play Apotheosis. This does 30, this does 40, so I get feed on him. So yeah, there we go. One more strength. This is a big strength deck, and we're going to take another heavy blade. I really do want to have more block cards though. I don't think we're going to survive Act 4 without being able to block more. Okay, let's play Corruption. Corruption needed an upgrade yesterday, so we might as well upgrade that. And we can go to the shop and see what we have. Now, this artifact will allow me to see my draw pile in the order that I will play, so that's excellent. But that can often not be all that useful. This one here means that the first time I lose HP, I will draw 3 additional cards. And I'm really tempted by this because I really need more block. And I'm not really getting the best block cards over here, right? I'm not getting things I can block for 10 or more. So I think I'm just going to go for this guy. And I have 37 cards, which is a lot of cards to shuffle through. But I feel like you either have a really small deck or you have a really big deck. And since I'm going to... that sounds wrong. Since I'm going to be here, I may as well finish with the big deck. So we're just going to go and go there. So... here we go, nearly finished. All right, we're gonna try Dark Embrace. Do I want to play Dark Embrace right now? I can't really, so I'm gonna let it go. I'm just gonna see what we get here. So definitely going to play this. Gonna play Mayhem. Going to try to not take 24 because this guy will randomize his attack every single time that you attack him. And I'm back to 24 again. So unfortunately, I'm just going to have to take 24 to the face, okay? It is what it is. So, here we go. We're going to play Corruption just so I can have it in play. Definitely going to weaken him. 12 is okay. I'm going to leave him there because if I attack him again, he's going to randomize what he does. And he's going to do more things I don't like. So... we're going to try to kind of keep him docile in a way. So let's just try to do upgrade these cards. And we can get rid of him. Okay, I didn't even mean to kill him, but I never do the calculation right. Okay, we're gonna get anger. Why not? Okay, now this is the final guy, and I have to get the... If I want to show you Act 4, I have to go for the key. So, no upgrades, unfortunately. Now, this guy, every 12 cards, he's going to force you to basically... He's going to force you to end your turn. So, it is what it is. So, we're going to play this way. Alright, it is what it is. We're going to leave it there. Now, because I'm going to go to Act 4, that means I have one more act. I'm going to play this potion though, so that I can do a few things. I don't want to do that. I could exhume Infernal Blade. Why not? Maybe we'll get something better this time. Clash. That's not that much better, to be honest. Clash isn't much better than what I had before. And I don't really want to work to get rid of him. So I can only play 5 cards this turn. Thankfully, he's not attacking me. So 1 card, 2, and 20. Let's say 3. So 2 cards this turn. But then Mayhem is going to play for me, so that'll only be 1 more card that I can play. That was not the best way to split that up, to be honest. So we're just going to take a huge hit to the face, and we're going to see what we get. Okay. I don't want to play Corruption yet, because this is going to be a longer fight. Okay, let's see. The good thing is that we started doing a huge amount of damage to him. So now that we have 31 strength, we are just, our strength scaling is off the charts. You know, we're just doing so much damage. We're going to try to draw 1 more card, see what we get here. But you know what? Let's just get rid of him. Okay, so that was the final Act 3 boss. So normally if you do this, you've beaten the game. But once you do the game, you can go to a secret Act 4, basically. And that is what we're going to show you over here. So we're nearly finished. Nearly done, guys. By the way, I can probably have my face on. You know, there we go. If I want to have my face on though, I think I have to move myself to be somewhere there. Okay. Alright, we're going to upgrade the card. And the final card we'll upgrade is Dark Embrace. Why not? And this is the final shop, but we only have no money. We have no money, so let's just proceed. Okay, the way that this fight works is that whoever you are not facing will do double damage to you. You face people by attacking them. So that's the way that it works. Let's see. I do want... we're not going to make him vulnerable this turn, so we're going to play this, a few heavy blades. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to upgrade all the cards in our deck. Then I feel like we just do Metallicize. I would love to do something else, but I really don't have the energy or anything else to do it with. So we're just going to have to cry about it and just take the hit. And these are not the final enemy, by the way. There's 1 more boss after this. But we're just going to have to deal with them when we get there, right? Now we're just going to dropkick this guy. Just kill him out right away. And then hopefully we get to kill this guy on this turn, because otherwise we're going to be extremely upset with ourselves over here. So thankfully that works. We heal 12 and then we go to the final guy. That last relic is pretty much useless. It would have been so nice earlier. But hey, it's fine. And there's no point in getting any of these. I guess we'll just go to an even 40 cards. Okay, this is the final boss of the game. And we are definitely going to lose because we don't have enough block. But hey, at least I took you to the final part, okay? So give credit for that. Okay, and let's just let that go. So it's going to do a pretty massive hit here, 63, which as you guys can see is not particularly nice considering again that I have no blocking cards. So we're just going, our run is pretty much going to end over here actually. So we can try playing some potions on him. You know what, why not? Let's do Twin Fire. Let's just get rid of these cards. And now we only have 10 health left. And we have 7 times 12, which is going to be a little bit of a painful condition for us, to be honest. So I don't think that we're going to survive this one, guys, unfortunately. And that's the end of the game. Like I said, he's never my favorite to play against because I never do well with him. But that's it, guys. That is the first stream that will slay the Spire. I promise with the other characters, I'm slightly better. Okay, so thank you for coming through. Thank you for making me super hungry and thirsty. And I have to pee. That's not the trifecta. That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of things to go wrong. I'm going to pretty much shut everything down here. So hopefully you guys had fun. I always wanted to bring Slay the Spire kind of into the community. Let me know if you like the game. Maybe it gave you something else that you might want to give a try. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it is on PlayStation Plus. I think even my subscription to it is currently on PlayStation Plus. I really should just buy this game outright, you know. But let's see. How much is it? Oh, and by the way, all of this was using remote play. Okay, so remote play into the PC. So again, if you guys ever had questions like, hey, what about remote play? How does it perform? So when I said that I use the portal and I'm enjoying the portal, this is why. Because I basically, oh, it's only $10 now. Well, I'm gonna have to do that now. I'm gonna have to purchase it right now because I've already purchased it in 2 other places, I think. But who needs to have a PlayStation Plus subscription in order to have it? Thank you so much, Survey, for staying all the way here. Appreciate you. You know, I hope that the game was fun for you to see. Like I said, as you can see right now, it's on sale. So if you want to play it, there's that. But like I was saying, this is remote play. So I enjoyed the portal because as you guys could see, the experience was pretty seamless. You know, the resolution is good. Right now, I think it's streaming at 1080p. And that's the same thing that it does on the portal. So this was pretty much a portal analog. So if you guys ever had questions about the portal, that will be it. Maybe I'll do a stream on Banishes as well. I'm be playing this game and you know it's interesting. But yeah, so this is it. This is kind of like my PlayStation, you know. So even on PC, you can play PlayStation games, you know, for the longest you've been able to. So these are some of the games. Here's some of my backlog. I guess we'll just kind of chat for a little bit more. Here's some of the backlog games that have been looking at me for the longest with hatred in their hearts. As you can see, I haven't played GTA 5 yet. I know. This backlog goes crazy. It goes Deus Ex. I still have games from PS4 days that I need to play. And if I wasn't spending all my time in Slay the Spire, maybe I would actually play those games one day, you know? But this is like the official backlog. These are the ones where I'm like, damn, I feel bad for not having played these games yet. These are the ones that I love for remote play. So as we are doing now, these are kind of games that are a little bit slower in tempo. I can just enjoy them on the portal, you know. So those are some of those games there that I think might work really well for remote play, couch co-op games, racing games, you know, because some of us appreciate those, you know, or like Portal Rock. These games specifically from PlayStation, I think I have most of these guys, you know, either on disc or, you know, on whatever. It doesn't really matter. Some indie games that I want stood out to me, and I want to be able to find quickly, so on and so forth. Okay, I really do have to go. Oh, finally, the girlfriend collection. These are games that you want to play with your girl. Okay, all of these are games where I'm like, eventually, you know, I'm going to get somebody. I'm going to turn her into a gamer, and I'm going to, play all of these games with her. Did I play KCD 2? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? No, I haven't played KCD. So honestly, I'm not that interested by that particular game. So there is that. All right, guys, that's it for me. Truly it. I'm done. Have a good time. Have a good night, good day, wherever you are around the globe. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We will try to do these more often because why not? It's just fun to talk to the community. And I will put the Discord link in the chat for people who want to, have a chance to be a part of the thing. Every time I do a stream, it will be an open mic. We can talk about, gaming topics, and maybe at the end I can play a game. You guys let me know if you want it to be separate streams or whatever. We'll try to do something just us over here. There's only like 12 of us, so we'll be good. Okay, have a good one. That's it.